Want to speak real German from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at GermanPod101.com.
Hi everyone, this is Henrik from GermanPod101.com. Do you know how to say I love you in German? In this lesson you'll learn 3 ways to say I love you, and on top of that, one special phrase for the upcoming Valentine's Day. Let's start with the most common phrase. Ich liebe dich. Ich liebe dich. I love you. This phrase is really direct, so you should only use it when you're really confessing your love. It's not really what you say so much to your mom or something like in English. It's really more romantic. If you want to be a little bit less direct, you can use this phrase. Du bedeutest mir sehr viel. Du bedeutest mir sehr viel. It means you mean so much to me. You guys really mean a lot to me also, because you're watching my videos. But that's rather a less romantic way, okay? If you want to be more romantic in expressing your love for someone, you can say this phrase. Worte können meine Liebe zu dir nicht beschreiben. Worte können meine Liebe zu dir nicht beschreiben. It means words can't describe my love for you. Cheesy, okay? Now you know 3 different ways to say I love you in German, and here's one more. If you want to spend Valentine's Day with someone really special, then you can use this phrase. Möchtest du mit mir am Valentinstag ausgehen? Do you want to go out with me on Valentine's Day? Möchtest du mit mir am Valentinstag ausgehen? To make sure you won't go home alone on Valentine's Day, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. Listen to the expressions and repeat after me. I love you. Ich liebe dich. Ich liebe dich. You mean so much to me. Du bedeutest mir sehr viel. Du bedeutest mir sehr viel. Words can't describe my love for you. Worte können meine Liebe zu dir nicht beschreiben. Worte können meine Liebe zu dir nicht beschreiben. Do you want to go out with me on Valentine's Day? Möchtest du mit mir am Valentinstag ausgehen? Möchtest du mit mir am Valentinstag ausgehen? Well done! Did you know that on Valentine's Day, the most prominent symbol is a rotes Herz, or red heart. It hangs in many shop windows in Germany. They also adorn greeting cards with inscriptions like for you, für dich, and I love you, or ich liebe dich. You just learned how to say I love you in 3 different ways in German, and a special phrase for Valentine's Day.
10 ways to remember words. Let's get started right away. Ich höre Lieder und lerne die Liedtexte auswendig. I listen to songs and memorize the lyrics. Yeah, that's true. I wrote them down actually, and yeah, it's like a good way, I think. Ich lerne den Ursprung der Wörter näher kennen und wie verschiedene Wörter miteinander verwandt sind. I learn about the roots of words and how different words are related to each other. Where is this from? How can I use it differently? I think too, if you know the meaning of a word, that it's very easy to memorize. Ich lese, schreibe und wiederhole Wörter immer wieder. I read, write, and say words over and over again. Well, it's kind of like school. I don't know if you remember, but when I learned, for example, another language, the teacher always made us write like a vocabulary list, words, the meaning, and how to write it. So I think it's a really good way to memorize words. Ich schaue oft TV oder YouTube-Videos, die für Kinder gemacht sind. I often watch TV or YouTube videos that are designed for young children. I actually learned English through Harry Potter, which I read all of the books. Ich spreche so oft wie möglich mit Muttersprachlern. I speak as often as possible with native speakers. I really recommend this because native speakers are very natural in their way of even talking, the body language. So I think if you have a chance to talk to native speakers about your everyday life, that's the best way actually to study a language. And of course, on the side, you should study grammar and all the important things so you can actually talk to the native speaker as well. But I think it's one of the best ways to remember and just get the everyday life language. Ich verbinde neue Wörter mit Wörtern, die ähnlich in meiner Muttersprache klingen. I associate new words with words that sound similar in my native language. Yeah, I think that's something that you do naturally actually when that's what I do in English. I translate it in my head in German automatically. And it's actually interesting to see how many languages are very similar to each other. I think this is a really good way to remember new words and use them. Ich versuche, auf Deutsch zu denken, damit sich meine Denkweise anpasst. I try to think in German so it becomes natural to my thought process. Yeah, this is, I think, a little bit harder maybe, but it's definitely worth a try because your thoughts are something you maybe can't really control, and so if you really think in German, it just becomes more natural to speak. So definitely try to think in German and maybe write things down so you memorize them and use them. Ich versuche routinemäßig die Sprache auf mein tägliches Leben anzuwenden. I try to use the language routinely in the context of my daily life. Yeah, that's, I think, very important to just going to the supermarket, writing down what you need in German, or just your everyday when you wake up and just think of your every task you want to do, or if you just think or write it down in German, it just makes much more of a difference. So viel wie möglich zu lesen, vor allem Zeitung, hilft mir dabei, sich Wörter zu merken. Reading as much as possible, especially the newspaper, helps me to remember words. Once you can read and understand the newspaper, it's very advanced, and so I recommend that as well. Even reading in general makes such a big difference. Ich verbinde Wörter mit Zeichnungen, Bilder und lustigen Szenen. I associate words with drawings, pictures, and funny scenes. Yeah, this is something I really actually do because I am a very visual person, and I believe if you visualize something, it's just in your head easier. Top 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Let's begin. Außer Deutsch kann ich auch ein paar andere Sprachen sprechen. Apart from knowing German, I can speak a few other languages as well. Außer Deutsch kann ich auch ein paar andere Sprachen sprechen. Apart from knowing German, I can speak a few other languages as well. I'm curious to know what other languages you can speak or you're actually learning besides from German. Danke, aber ich bin eigentlich kein Muttersprachler. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. Danke, aber ich bin eigentlich kein Muttersprachler. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. That is an answer if somebody thinks you're actually German or you talk like a German native speaker. So that's a big compliment, I think. Deutsch macht Spaß und ist einfach zu lernen. German is fun and easy to learn. Deutsch macht Spaß und ist einfach zu lernen. German is fun and easy to learn. Of course, that's something I would love to hear. If something is fun, it gets easy. So if you're enjoying German, I think you're being in a good mood, and then it gets easy because you're actually wanting to learn. Ich habe alles genau verstanden, was du gesagt hast. I completely understood everything you said. Ich habe alles genau verstanden, was du gesagt hast. I completely understood everything you said. I think that's something really nice if somebody's still learning German and you talk to them like you're talking to a native speaker and they tell you, wow, I really understood everything. That's something that's a big compliment, but it's also a big compliment for you because it means that you understood everything. Ich habe nur ein Jahr gebraucht, fließend zu werden. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Ich habe nur ein Jahr gebraucht, fließend zu werden. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. If you've become fluent in a year, that's amazing. Ich kann deutsche Filme ohne Untertitel gucken. I can watch German movies without subtitles. Ich kann deutsche Filme ohne Untertitel gucken. I can watch German movies without subtitles. I always suggest to watch movies without subtitles because even if you don't understand, it's very visual and you can use your imagination. Ich kann rund 50 neue deutsche Wörter pro Tag auswendig lernen. I can memorize around 50 new German words a day. Ich kann rund 50 neue deutsche Wörter pro Tag auswendig lernen. I can memorize around 50 new German words a day. That is amazing. I mean, 50 new German words. Every day learning new German words is going to help you to become fluent. Ich lerne ganz alleine Deutsch. I'm learning German all by myself. Ich lerne ganz alleine Deutsch. I'm learning German all by myself. I mean, I think I would be a little sad if you said that to me because I hope you learn with me. But of course, it's a very great thing if you can learn on your own a language and study. Ich lerne seit 10 Jahren Deutsch. I've been learning German for 10 years. Ich lerne seit 10 Jahren Deutsch. I've been learning German for 10 years. Many people give up maybe, but in 10 years you can learn so much German. Let me know how long have you been learning German. In 3 Jahren werde ich Deutsch wie ein Muttersprachler sprechen. I'll speak German like a native speaker in 3 years. In 3 Jahren werde ich Deutsch wie ein Muttersprachler sprechen. I'll speak German like a native speaker in 3 years. I always think it's good to set goals and because I really think if you work hard for them, you'll make it. So what is your goal in learning German? Have you set any goals? Leave me in the comments. The 10 foods that will kill you faster. Ugh. Bonbon, candy. Viele Kinder lieben bonbons. A lot of children love candy. My favorite German candy is Mauam. I don't know if you know, it has different fruity flavors and it's very yummy. So if you go to Germany, definitely get Mauam. Fertignudeln, instant noodles. In Deutschland gibt es ein Wort, das heißt Studentenfutter. Und die Fertignudeln gehören dazu. In Germany, there's a word called students' food, and it's instant noodles is one of those student foods. Kartoffelchips, potato chips. Ich persönlich liebe Kartoffelchips. I personally love potato chips. You can actually make your own. I sometimes make my own. It's very easy and it's more healthy. So you cut them very thin, but in the round shape still. So you just keep the potato as it is, and then you fry them and just put salt and if you want like other things, chili powder or whatever. And here we go. You have healthy potato chips. Margarine, margarine. Die Margarine, margarine. Germans actually love bread and they love margarine on bread with cheese and ham and marmalade. Actually, Germans, it's very common. They actually put margarine first and then Nutella on top. But it's very good. Mikrowellenpopcorn, microwave popcorn. Mikrowellenpopcorn ist nicht sehr gesund, aber es gibt Alternativen. Microwave popcorn is not very healthy, but there are alternatives. My mom used to make popcorns all the time without the microwave, and it's very easy. Well, you just buy like the corn, like dried corn, and just put it on the oven and wait until it pops. Easy peasy. Soda, soda. In German, there's also Limonade, lemonade, which is, it's actually the healthy version, I think, of soda. It's just with a lot of lemon, and people drink that. And it's common actually in Germany, like kids, when they are trying to earn money, they actually sell lemonade in front of the house. Soda ist nicht sehr gesund für den Körper. Soda is not that healthy for your body. Lemonade. Speck, Bacon. Speck wird oft in Deutschland mit Spiegelei gegessen. Bacon is usually eaten with sunny side up eggs in Germany for breakfast. If it's once in a while, I think it's okay. Tiefkühlkost, frozen meals. Ja, ich denke heutzutage, wenn du viel arbeitest, dann kannst du dir auch mal Tiefkühlkost gönnen. I think nowadays, if you work really hard and you don't really have time, you can once in a while treat yourself with frozen meals. Bratwurst, grilled sausage. Deutsche essen sehr gerne Bratwurst. Germans love to eat grilled sausage. And it's not very healthy, I think, because it's like these grilled with oil and there's a lot of fat. Leberwurst. Leberwurst. So Leberwurst ist eine deutsche Spezialität. Leberwurst is a German specialty. It's actually like a meat paste that you put in on top of your bread. And it's very fatty too, because it has like all the pork and fatty pork in it, so it's not very healthy as well. 10 happy words. So let's be happy and start. Aufgeregt, excited. Aufgeregt, excited. Ich bin aufgeregt, jetzt mit euch dieses Video zu drehen. I am excited to film this video. Dynamisch, energetic. Dynamisch, energetic. Ich versuche jeden Tag mein Tag sehr dynamisch zu starten. I try to start my day very energetic. I wake up with a big smile. That makes a big difference if you try. You know, most people are not morning people, but I think if you start the day with a smile, then it will be a good day. Entspannt, relaxed. Entspannt, relaxed. Normalerweise ist der Sonntag mein Tag, wo ich entspanne. Usually Sundays is the day I relax. Maybe it's a very German thing, but Sundays is in Germany kind of a holy day for family to relax and just be with friends and not think about work or just anything. Freundlich, kind. Freundlich, kind. Meine Nachbarin ist sehr freundlich. My neighbor is very kind. Yeah, I think when you get along, especially with neighbors, that's very nice. And sometimes, you know, if you need something, you can just ring the bell and ask for certain things. So it's always good to be a kind neighbor. Remember that. Glücklich, happy. Glücklich, happy. Jeden Tag sollte man glücklich verbringen. Every day should be a happy day. Well, yeah, some of you who have been following my videos maybe know that usually I'm very happy. It actually takes a lot for me not to be happy. So, yeah, I think it's very positive and good for yourself to always be happy and learn German happily. Hoffnungsvoll, hopeful. Hoffnungsvoll, hopeful. Ich bin hoffnungsvoll, dass mein nächster Urlaub sehr gut sein wird. I am hopeful that my next summer vacation will be very good. I think we all look forward to our summer vacations, and yeah, let me know what you have planned. Lachen, to laugh. Lachen, to laugh. Lachen ist ansteckend. To laugh is contagious. I think to laugh is a universal language, and it just is a good way to start a conversation, or if you're new somewhere or in a country where you don't know, it's a good way to start and even learn a language by laughing. Lieben, to love. Lieben, to love. Ich liebe Hunde. I love dogs. Yes, I am a dog lover, and well, if you've been following some of my other videos, I actually, my parents actually own a German Shepherd, and he's really sweet, and I really love him. And dogs are just very kind animals. Lustig, funny. Lustig, funny. Ich liebe lustige Filme. I love funny movies. Well, comedies, funny movies are such a good way to spend, for example, a Sunday afternoon. Mögen, to like. Mögen, to like. Was mögt ihr an der deutschen Sprache? What do you like most about the German language? Leave in the comments. I would love to know.
Hi everybody, this is Henrik from GermanPod101.com. Do you know what monsters German people are scared of? In this lesson you'll learn about 3 scary monsters in Germany. Let's start with the most popular monster. Weiße Frau. Weiße Frau. It means white woman in German. Weiße Frauen are elf-like spirits that live in forests. These spirits are not all evil. They sometimes help lost travelers find their way. However, they haunt castles with treasures and can appear very frightening. That sounds pretty scary, right? You might have heard about the next monster. The next one is Krampus. Krampus. It can be translated as claw in English. Krampus is a scary, fanged and horned devil. He's also known as a Christmas devil. The horrific Krampus is a half-man, half-goat demon. His job is to scare disobedient children during Christmas and takes them to his lair for punishment. Okay, here's the last monster. Nachtalb. Nachtalb. Have you heard of this next one? This means Alp. The Nachtalb is a shape-shifting, elf-like male demon or vampire. This vampire demon slips in through keyholes of rooms to give people nightmares. Often, they compress the dreamer's chest so that the person cannot move or make a sound. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. Listen to the names of each monster and repeat after me. White woman. Weiße Frau. Weiße Frau. Claw. Krampus. Krampus. Alp. Nachtalb. Nachtalb. Well done. Did you know there's a similar holiday to Halloween in Germany? German people celebrate a Halloween equivalent called the Pagan Festival in Bavaria. Participants dress as evil or scary monsters in order to drive away evil spirits. And that's it! You just learned about 3 of the most scariest monsters in Germany and about Pagan, a festival similar to Halloween. Now, learn German twice as fast by downloading all your PDF cheat sheets, including survival phrases, pickup lines, business etiquette, and more. Check out the description below and go to GermanPod101.com now. I'll see you next time. Bis bald. don't really know how spirits skip around, but maybe like this. Woo! Stuffed animal, okay. How do I interact with a stuffed animal? Tja, ich weiß auch nicht so recht, was Sie davon wollten.
10 phrases for bad students. Yeah, I hope you're none of them, but yeah, let's get started. Aufschieben, procrastinate. Ich muss auch zugeben, dass ich manchmal bestimmte Sachen aufschiebe. I have to admit that sometimes some things I procrastinate as well. Yeah, I think when you have a goal in mind, it's the best to just do it right away instead of maybe, saying, oh, I'll do it next week or tomorrow, even if it's just studying for like 10 minutes or something, or 20 a day, it makes a big difference. Bei einem Test mogeln, to cheat on a test. Bei einem Test mogeln, to cheat on a test. Es hilft einem selber nicht, wenn man bei einem Test mogelt. It doesn't help you anyways if you cheat on a test. Well, I think if you really want to learn something or if you really study, you actually don't even need to cheat because it's all in your head. Oh, I sound like a mom, don't cheat. Die Klasse nicht bestehen. To fail a class. Die Klasse nicht bestehen. To fail a class. Es gibt einige Studenten, die die Klasse nicht bestehen. There are a few students who fail a class, and which is okay. I mean, sometimes, you studied hard for another class, or you just simply weren't interested, and then you just have to take it again. Maybe it's even a good thing, and always stay positive. Keine Hausaufgaben machen. To not do homework. Keine Hausaufgaben machen. To not do homework. Ich muss zugeben, dass ich auch paar Mal meine Hausaufgaben vergessen habe. I have to admit that I also didn't do homework sometimes. Yeah, so my mom actually always told me to do my homework right away after school before I can go out play or just see my friends. So that's how I grew up, and yeah, I think that's a good way to just not forget about it. Schikanieren, to bully. Schikanieren, to bully. Es ist nie gut, jemanden zu schikanieren. It is never good to bully another person. Schwänzen, to skip class. Schwänzen, to skip class. Manchmal hatte ich auch einfach Lust, meine Klasse zu schwänzen. Sometimes I was almost gonna skip some classes. Well, we always have our favorite classes and not, and so yeah, sometimes it's okay to think about these things. I think it's normal and it's very human, but yeah, try not to skip class. Nicht die Regeln befolgen. To not follow rules. Nicht die Regeln befolgen. To not follow rules. Ich finde, manchmal ist es aber gut, nicht die Regeln zu befolgen. Yeah, so what I meant with sometimes I think it's good to not follow rules, it's, follow laws and don't hurt anybody, but like languages, of course there's rules, but there's also some things that cannot be explained. Yeah, just say what you instantly mean, because that's what native speakers do. Plagiat, plagiarism. Plagiat, plagiarism. Plagiate sind nie ein gutes Zeichen und bringen dich nicht weiter. Plagiarism is never a good sign or way, and at the end it won't bring you forward in anything. And I think that's something we all learn at school anyways, and it's called, well, in German it's called Fußnote, footnote, where you have a certain area in an essay to put the books or the authors you used in your essay. Schwänzer, truant. Schwänzer, truant. Ich glaube, dass ein Schwänzer es nie weit bringt. I believe that a truant never makes it far in life. Faul, lazy. Faul, lazy. Es ist wichtig, eine Balance zu haben. Also glaube ich schon, dass es okay ist, an manchen Tagen faul zu sein. I think you need a balance in your life, so it is okay to be lazy sometimes. I think that's important, and we need that to be motivated. That's a good way to end the lesson. 10 German foods. Apfelstrudel, apple strudel. Der Apfelstrudel ist einer meiner Lieblingskuchen. The apple strudel is one of my favorite cakes. Bratwürste mit Kartoffelbrei. Bratwurst with mashed potato. When you think of Germany, that's maybe one of the first things that comes up. It's Bratwurst mit Kartoffelbrei und Bier. So Bratwurst with mashed potato and beer. If you are visiting Germany, I think that's a must-have. Brezel, pretzel. There's a lot of beer festivals. It's usually with beer and pretzel. Currywurst, curried sausage. Currywurst gibt es normalerweise an jeder Straßenecke. Curried sausage is normally sold at every street corner. So if you're in the city shopping and you get hungry, you should try a curried sausage. Kartoffelknödel, potato dumpling. Ich liebe Kartoffelknödel. I love potato dumpling. It's really good, and I think it's very German too. I don't know why, but I think most Germans eat it on a Sunday. Kassler. Kassler. Kassler isst man normalerweise mit Sauerkraut. Kassler is usually eaten with sauerkraut. Kassler is very specific to South Germany. If you travel to South Germany and you cannot eat any more Bratwurst sausage, you should try Kassler. Sauerkraut, Sauerkraut. Es gibt viele verschiedene Arten von Sauerkraut. There's a lot of different types of sauerkraut. Some of them are actually white, and then there's others that are purple. It's very good for your body and very healthy. Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte, Black Forest Cake. Die Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte ist einer der berühmtesten Kuchen aus Deutschland. The Black Forest Cake is one of the most famous cakes in Germany. They use really big and yummy cherries. So if you have a chance to eat it, definitely eat it. Schweinebraten, roast pork. Man isst gerne Schweinebraten zum Oktoberfest. People like to eat roast pork for Oktoberfest. Schweinebraten is something from South Germany. If you have a chance to go to Bavaria, you should definitely try Schweinebraten, roast pork. Weißwurst, white sausage. White sausage is good with beer. Yeah, so this is another typical food from the Oktoberfest. A lot of people eat the pretzel with a white sausage and beer. It's a typical and very famous for Bavaria.
Hi everyone! Do you know the 1,000 most useful phrases in German? In this lesson, you'll be able to know all of them, so sit back, relax, and have a cup of tea as you listen and learn.
Wo ist die Toilette?
Entschuldigung.
Toll.
Ich habe eine Reservierung.
Wie viel kostet das?
Was ist das?
Danke.
Wirklich?
Könnten Sie mir einen Rabatt geben? Ist das WLAN kostenlos?
Die Rechnung bitte. Haben Sie Empfehlungen? Kann ich das anprobieren?
You just learned the 1,000 most useful phrases in German. And if you're interested in learning more, try learning the Core 2000 word list. With this, you'll understand 95% of the language, and best of all, this is not a joke. Check out the description below and go to GermanPod101.com now. See you next time.
How are your German listening skills? First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end.
Eine Frau, die für die Designabteilung arbeitet, unterhält sich mit ihrem Kollegen vom Forschungs- und Entwicklungsteam. Wähle die korrekten Produktverpackungen.
Wir hätten gerne, dass Sie Verpackungen für unsere neuen Schokoladenprodukte entwerfen. Wir planen eine duale Produkteinführung. Eine ist eine süße Schokolade mit 30% Kakaoanteil. Die andere ist eine Bittersüße mit 80% Kakao.
Ich verstehe. Also möchten wir, dass die 30% und 80% Buchstaben herausstechen?
Ja, vielleicht können wir sie in der Mitte der Verpackung haben oder andere Farben benutzen.
In Ordnung. Für die süße Schokolade, wie wäre es, eine rote Box mit schwarzen Buchstaben zu benutzen, auf der 30% steht? Und für die Bittersüße können wir eine schwarze Box mit roten Buchstaben benutzen, auf der 80% steht.
Oder wie wäre es, goldene Buchstaben für beide zu benutzen? Ich glaube, das würde besser das luxuriöse Image zeigen.
Gute Idee. Ich denke, wir sollten die Buchstaben auch mit weiß umranden, um sie deutlicher zu machen. Bezüglich der Anordnung des Designs wäre es okay, Kakao oben links zu schreiben, dann ein Bild der Schokolade in der Mitte und der Prozentsatz des Kakaos unten rechts?
Ja, und bitte benutzen Sie größere Schrift für den Prozentsatz. Ich hätte auch gerne, dass es in einer anderen Schriftart geschrieben wird als der Produktname. Und gehen Sie sicher, dass Sie es fett schreiben.
Verstanden. Wir werden Ihnen eine E-Mail schreiben, wenn die Verpackungen fertig sind. Bis wann brauchen Sie sie?
Falls möglich, können Sie sie bitte bis zum Ende dieser Woche machen?
Bis zum Ende dieser Woche? Okay, wir werden unser Bestes geben. Wähle die korrekten Produktverpackungen. Eine Frau, die für die Designabteilung arbeitet, unterhält sich mit ihrem Kollegen vom Forschungs- und Entwicklungsteam. Wähle die korrekten Produktverpackungen.
Wir hätten gerne, dass Sie Verpackungen für unsere neuen Schokoladenprodukte entwerfen. Wir planen eine duale Produkteinführung. Eine ist eine süße Schokolade mit 30% Kakaoanteil. Die andere ist eine Bittersüße mit 80% Kakao.
Ich verstehe. Also möchten wir, dass die 30% und 80% Buchstaben herausstechen?
Ja, vielleicht können wir sie in der Mitte der Verpackung haben oder andere Farben benutzen.
In Ordnung. Für die süße Schokolade, wie wäre es, eine rote Box mit schwarzen Buchstaben zu benutzen, auf der 30% steht? Und für die Bittersüße können wir eine schwarze Box mit roten Buchstaben benutzen, auf der 80% steht.
Oder wie wäre es, goldene Buchstaben für beide zu benutzen? Ich glaube, das würde besser das luxuriöse Image zeigen.
Gute Idee. Ich denke, wir sollten die Buchstaben auch mit weiß umranden, um sie deutlicher zu machen. Bezüglich der Anordnung des Designs wäre es okay, Kakao oben links zu schreiben, dann ein Bild der Schokolade in der Mitte und der Prozentsatz des Kakaos unten rechts?
Ja, und bitte benutzen Sie größere Schrift für den Prozentsatz. Ich hätte auch gerne, dass es in einer anderen Schriftart geschrieben wird als der Produktname. Und gehen Sie sicher, dass Sie es fett schreiben.
Verstanden. Wir werden Ihnen eine E-Mail schreiben, wenn die Verpackungen fertig sind. Bis wann brauchen Sie sie?
Falls möglich, können Sie sie bitte bis zum Ende dieser Woche machen?
Bis zum Ende dieser Woche? Okay, wir werden unser Bestes geben.
Want to speak real German from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at GermanPod101.com.
Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Henrik. Welcome to a new episode of GermanPod101.com. I've got some cool stuff for you today. We're gonna learn top 10 phrases your parents always say. Once you're a parent, you know that's useful stuff. Let's go.
Sei vorsichtig. Be careful.
Sei vorsichtig. Sei vorsichtig. Be careful. I myself had this a lot as a kid. I guess all the parents say this all the time because they want the children to be safe. But it's just natural for children. They want to play in the dirt, they want to play with stick, do some stuff that's maybe a little bit dangerous. So you're always gonna hear, sei vorsichtig, be careful. So I'm the one telling, be careful. But yeah, I was once the one always listening to it. Be careful.
Sei still. Be quiet.
Sei still. Sei still. Be quiet. That's a bit more like an annoyed one if you're really sick of your kid, like, and then you say, be quiet. Sei still. Yeah, it's not very nice to say, that's for sure, but I think many parents know the situation when the kid always wants all the attention and maybe you're focused on something, so you just want it to shut up. So you say, be quiet. Sei still. Try not to say it, it's not so nice, but at some point you just cannot stand it anymore, so you say like, oh, be quiet, sei still.
Benimm dich. Behave.
Benimm dich. Benimm dich. Behave. Actually, not only kids hear this from their parents. I could say, like, my girlfriend tells this to me, like, oh, come on, Henrik, behave. Yeah, so for little kids and for big kids.
Mach deine Hausaufgaben. Do your homework.
Mach deine Hausaufgaben. Mach deine Hausaufgaben. Do your homework. Actually, that's not only parents saying, also your teachers. I'm your teacher, so please, do your homework. Oh wait, I'm not giving you homework, right? I should work with it. I come up with some next time, okay?
Geh ins Bett. Go to bed.
Geh ins Bett. Geh ins Bett. Go to bed. Well, as I'm a young parent myself, I know that's a very hard one, because my little boy never wants to go to bed. I can understand, I like to stay up late, so probably do you, I don't know. But yeah, important to know, but I think even knowing the sentence, it doesn't really help a lot, because just by saying go to bed, I rarely see an effect on this. Yeah, you have to come up with something better than just saying go to bed to make a kid go to bed, really. That's my experience.
Ich werde bis 3 zählen. I'm going to count to 3.
Ich werde bis 3 zählen. Ich werde bis 3 zählen. I'm going to count to 3. Not sure if that really works with most of the kids. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Next one.
Aufhören. Stopp.
Aufhören. Aufhören. Stop. If you think now that also our traffic signs, the stop signs would say aufhören, no, they're also stop. But it could be more like stop it. Hör auf. Aufhören. You could say both. You could say aufhören or hör auf. I think the hör auf is a bit more like sounds strict and direct. So like really stop it. Don't stop watching. Nicht aufhören.
Schalte den Fernseher jetzt aus. Turn the TV off now.
Schalte den Fernseher jetzt aus. Schalte den Fernseher jetzt aus. Turn off the TV now. Yeah, so I personally was never really allowed to watch that much TV, so I know this one. But I think it's good. Children shouldn't always just watch TV. They should rather watch YouTube, German Pod, or something like that. So turn off the TV, turn on German Pod 101. There you go.
Was habe ich gerade gesagt? What did I just say?
Was habe ich gerade gesagt? Was habe ich gerade gesagt? What did I just say? Classic. Oh, what did I just say? Again, probably parents are being pretty serious when they say, what did I just say? They really want you to do the stuff that you're supposed to do. What did I just say? Next one.
Hast du deine Zähne geputzt? Did you brush your teeth?
Hast du deine Zähne geputzt? Hast du deine Zähne geputzt? Did you brush your teeth? Yeah, always brush your teeth. Otherwise, the bad bacteria come and you get bad teeth, teeth pain, all the stuff you don't want to. So yeah, could be a parent saying, could be the dentist. Either way, very important. Always brushing your teeth in the morning, in the afternoon. Did you brush your teeth? Anyways, let me stop here with all the strict parent sentences. I hope you liked the lesson. Subscribe to the channel or leave a comment. What could I improve? What did you like? What didn't you like? Probably the be quiet wasn't your favorite because, yeah, you can speak up now again and do your homework. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, what is the difference between Entschuldigung, entschuldigen Sie, and entschuldige? Let's start from the beginning. The verb entschuldigen can be literally translated as to take away the guilt, with die Schuld meaning the guilt. This means you're asking the other person to free you from feeling guilty for whatever you're apologizing for. Both Entschuldigung and entschuldigen Sie, which are formal, and entschuldige, which is informal, are used to apologize to someone. Entschuldigen Sie und entschuldige are the imperative of entschuldigen, which means to excuse, and Entschuldigung means apology. While both expressions can often be used interchangeably, a conversation between a parent and their child might go like this. Entschuldige dich, apologize, to which the child will reply Entschuldigung, meaning apology, or more naturally in English, sorry. Entschuldigung can often stand on its own as an apology, but entschuldigen Sie or entschuldige often need another sentence to explain what you're apologizing for, such as entschuldigen Sie, dass ich zu spät war, which means excuse me being late, or entschuldigen Sie die Störung, meaning excuse the disruption. Entschuldigen Sie is formal, so this would be used at work. For example, when a colleague disrupts a meeting or, very politely, simply before asking a colleague a question. Another common phrase is Entschuldigung, das wollte ich nicht, meaning apologies, I didn't want that to happen. This can be used in many situations, and the das wollte ich nicht implies that whatever you did was an accident. This phrase can be used for anything from apologizing for dropping a plate at home to apologizing to your boss for breaking your computer at work. It's usually used when your mistake was noticed by another person and that person makes you aware of what you did. Another example is ist entschuldigt, which directly translates as he's excused. This is commonly only at school when parents write a note for their children when they are sick. Their absence is then called an entschuldigt. In casual situations, for example, if a friend is a few minutes late, many people would just shorten this phrase by saying Entschuldigung. For example, Entschuldigung, ich stand im Stau, which means, sorry, I was caught in traffic. Increasingly, people also say just sorry in very casual or friendly situations. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, see you next time.
You are at a train station platform where you are waiting for your train. There's a small pamphlet sitting on a display case about a new train that will be introduced next year. You decide to pick up and read the pamphlet. What is the main feature and the biggest advantage of the new train? What is the main feature and the biggest advantage of the new train? The The main feature of the train is that it is propelled by magnetism. The biggest advantage is that it can reach twice the speed of any train that runs on tracks.
Der Zug wird durch Magnetismus angetrieben. Er kann die doppelte Geschwindigkeit von Zügen erreichen, die auf Gleisen verkehren.
Want to speak real German from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at GermanPod101.com.
Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, what is the difference between wohnen and leben? Wohnen and leben can both be translated as to live and are often used interchangeably in German. For example, you could say ich wohne in Deutschland or ich lebe in Deutschland, and both would mean I live in Germany. However, wohnen is only used when talking about your current living situation and might be closest to the English verb to reside. For example, ich wohne in einer Wohnung in einer Wohngegend means I live in an apartment in a residential area. Wohnen and Wohnung, which means apartment, have the same origin. The verb leben can be used to express this too, but is also used in the more literal sense, like lebt, which means he's alive. Let's do some examples so you can see how to use wohnen and leben correctly. In this sentence, ich wohne in Berlin, which means I live or reside in Berlin, wohnen is more commonly used than leben because it's talking about your address. However, both verbs are possible. The sentence, meine Katze ist sehr alt, aber sie lebt noch, which means my cat is very old but she's still alive, uses the word leben because it's talking about the physical state of your cat. Here is a sentence that uses both leben and wohnen. Ich habe ein Jahr im Ausland gelebt und in einer WG gewohnt. This means I lived abroad for a year and resided in a share house. When referring to an experience such as living abroad, leben is commonly used because it usually implies the experience of living rather than just where your address would be in that foreign country. However, when discussing the actual living situation, we used wohnen to talk about the share house, which in German is a WG or a Wohngemeinschaft. When in doubt, the verb leben is a safe bet, as it always fits whenever you want to express to live. Wohnen, however, can only be used when expressing living in the sense of residing. It's more commonly used than the English verb to reside, though. Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, see you next time.
Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Henrik. Welcome to a new episode of GermanPod101.com. Today I have a very cool lesson for you, very interesting, very important. I'll teach you top 10 phrases you'll need to go on a date. So, if you've ever thought on maybe going out on a date with a German, this might be very interesting stuff for you. Let's go. Möchtest du mit mir Abendessen gehen? Would you like to go out to dinner with me? Möchtest du mit mir Abendessen gehen? Would you like to go out to dinner with me? So yeah, classic question for a first date. If you're not sure what you want to do with a person, really just spend time with her, getting to talk, to know more about each other. That's the classic, going out for dinner. So you can ask, hey, would you like to go get dinner with me? Möchtest du mit mir Abendessen gehen? The most classic question probably for a first date, huh? Hast du dieses Wochenende Zeit? Are you free this weekend? Hast du dieses Wochenende Zeit? Are you free this weekend? So, after you finished your first date probably and it's been nice, you can go a step forward and ask, hey, let's meet this weekend. I don't know, do some fun activity out in the woods or go shopping, whatever, but first you need to know, is this person free on the weekend? So you should ask, hey, are you free this weekend? Hast du dieses Wochenende Zeit? Möchtest du mit mir Zeit verbringen? Would you like to hang out with me? Möchtest du mit mir Zeit verbringen? Would you like to hang out with me? Yeah, this is just really general. Also, probably if you don't know the person as well, as much, and you just want to figure out, hey, is this person interested in hanging out with me? You could ask. you want to spend time with me? Möchtest du mit mir Zeit verbringen? Or if you want to make it sound a little bit more slangy, you should ask, möchtest du mit mir abhängen? Like, really, literally, you want to hang out with me? Abhängen is hang out. So, yeah, either way, the more classy is like, möchtest du mit mir Zeit verbringen? Or just like a little bit more cool, hey, möchtest du mit mir abhängen? Also probably depends on the age. If you're rather in your 30s, 40s upwards, you would probably ask for some time, for the Zeit. Whereas when you're a teenager, just play it cool, say, möchtest du mit mir abhängen? Du bist so süß. You are so cute. Du bist so süß. You're so cute. It's a nice compliment for if like you're dating, having a date with a cute person and I don't know, you're really having fun, then you can just like let this slip. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Like, oh, du bist so süß. It's nice. It works both for boy to girl, girl to boy. Both can be cute. Du siehst gut aus. You look great. Du siehst gut aus. You look great. Yeah, this is what you say when you meet the person to go on the date, and probably most person will dress up a little bit, like put some makeup on, put the high heels on, like in the Sia song, right? And then yeah, to appreciate all the effort the person does to look pretty, just give him a compliment. Hey, wow, you look great. Du siehst gut aus. They will appreciate. Das war ein toller Abend. That was a great evening. Das war ein toller Abend. That was a great night. Apparently, you don't say this in the beginning of the evening, you said it in the end of the evening. And if you enjoyed your time, just let the person know. I always like to hear that people enjoyed the time with me when I'm on a date or when I just spend time with friends, and then in the end I say, hey, well, that was a cool night, and everybody knows, hey, cool, we had a good time. So why not just saying it? Ich werde dich nach Hause fahren. I will drive you home. Ich werde dich nach Hause fahren. I will drive you home. Yeah, if you're a gentleman, you should do this, or a gentle lady, if you're the driver for the night. Just offer, yeah, bring you home. Germany's a safe country, so we have nice public transport. But of course, if you're on a date, you wanna show, hey, whoa, I'm a gentleman, or I'm a nice lady. I'll drive you home. I drive you home to make it easier for you. Wann sollen wir uns morgen treffen? What time shall we meet tomorrow? Wann sollen wir uns morgen treffen? What time shall we meet tomorrow? Yeah, apparently you've already set up a date, but you don't know what time you're gonna meet or where you wanna go, whatever, then just to clarify, you ask the question, hey, what time do we meet tomorrow? I'm probably going to ask this very often because I'm not so good in remembering dates, times, all this kind of stuff disappears from my memory, so I'll use the sentence a lot. Wann treffen wir uns? Zu welcher Zeit? What time shall we meet? Können wir uns wiedersehen? Can I see you again? Können wir uns wiedersehen? Can I see you again? Also, yeah, if you like the date, if you like the person, you want to see her again, just be polite. Hey, können wir uns wiedersehen? You can ask it in a cute way, and then the person probably can't even say no to you. Was hältst du von diesem Ort? What do you think of this place? Was hältst du von diesem Ort? What do you think of this place? Yeah, if you found a nice spot, then suggest, hey, let's stay here. For example, in my city, it's like a little bit in a mountainish area. Yeah, I know Swiss and Austrian people would disagree because it's like not huge mountains, it's more like hills. But anyways, if you go a little bit up a hill, then there's a nice spot where you can oversee the entire city, and that's where many people take their dates. So you could make it seem just like casually fun. Oh, hey, what do you think about this place? Not like planned long time. Even though probably the person will appreciate if you have put a little bit thought in where you go. So, but yeah, it's nice to ask your date if she likes the place you took her or him, like whatever you prefer. That's it, already the end. I mean, you notice the sentences we use in Germany are basically the same that I used in America, or at least in English-speaking countries. just translated, we don't have really a lot different habits how we ask to go on a date. So this should be easy for you. Just find a German German boy or German girl. Find one. Use those phrases, and I bet you will have some success to go on a date. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Leave some comments. If you let me know about your experiences on dates with Germans. Maybe you've used some of the sentences. Visit GermanPod101.com to learn even more German, to impress your dates with your German, and then I see you in the next lesson. Ciao, ciao.
You've decided to study a new language. So now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1, create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2, make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3, find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4, use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
Hi, Anja here. Welcome to Top Words. Today we'll be talking about 10 phrases to use when you're angry. So the first one will be, es geht dich nichts an. It's none of your business. Es geht dich nichts an. It's none of your business. So many people say it by themselves if they don't want to get too intimate about an issue, if they don't want to come too close to someone. So the next one is, halt den Mund, shut up. So, I mean, it's not very nice to say to someone, halt den Mund, lass mich in Ruhe, leave me alone. Lass mich in Ruhe means leave me alone. So this one you say if you just want to be alone by yourself, if you don't want to be bothered by anybody, but also if you're angry and maybe had a fight with someone and then you just don't want to continue the fight anymore, you just don't want to get attacked or offended anymore, and you say, okay, just leave me alone, I'll go into my room and please don't disturb or bother me. Willst du mich veräppeln? Are you kidding me? Willst du mich veräppeln? Are you kidding me? So actually, you don't really say veräppeln. That's not a very common way to say. Maybe they said it like that many years ago. Or older people might still say veräppeln. Was auch immer. Whatever. Was auch immer. Whatever. So this also depends on the context. You could say that during a fight. If you want to stop arguing with someone, you say, okay, just whatever. Was auch immer. Or you could say it if you are explaining something but I don't know, you don't really, you can't find the words or something, and you can also say, okay, it was this and that, was auch immer. Doesn't really matter. If it's not that important, then you can use that too. Hör auf damit. Cut it out. Hör auf damit. Cut it out. Okay, this phrase can be used in many contexts. For example, parents might say that to their children. if they're doing something wrong, or yeah, if they don't behave well, they just say, hör auf damit, don't do that. Just cut it out, stop that. Ich will nicht mit dir reden. I don't want to talk to you. Ich will nicht mit dir reden. I don't want to talk to you. So I would say in most cases you say that after a fight. You say, ich will nicht mit dir reden, or ich will nicht mehr mit dir reden. I don't want to talk to you anymore because you had enough. It's actually, I would say it's pretty hurtful if someone says that to you. It can be a long time after you had an argument with someone, and maybe someone comes up to you and wants to apologize or just wants to talk to you and say, ich will nicht mit dir reden. Ich will gerade nicht mit dir reden. I just don't want to talk to you right now. Ich bin verärgert. I'm upset. Ich bin verärgert. I'm upset. So I would say you don't say that very often. If there was a situation before that made you angry, you could just talk to a person and say, I'm so upset. Ich bin so verärgert. Na und? So what? Na und? So what? So na und is not doesn't sound very angry. It can be used in a very normal context, in a natural way. Maybe a person tells you a story and she's so mad about something and you say, na und? It's not that terrible. What are you so mad about? Like, yeah, so what? So what's the matter? There's no issue like that. So it's basically like, so what? No big deal. Was glaubst du, wer du bist? Who do you think you are? Was glaubst du, wer du bist? Who do you think you are? So this sentence you could use if a person acts very arrogant, keeps telling you instructions, or wants to make you obey or something. Then you could say, was glaubst du, wer du bist? Like, who do you think you are? Yeah, don't treat me like this. I don't deserve it. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard many people saying this. I don't know if you use that very often, but I think it's a funny way of if you really, if you are in that kind of situation and you say, who do you think you are? Was glaubst du, wer du bist? I think that's really funny to say. It would be funny from the outside to see that kind of situation. Probably not if you're within the situation. All right, so these were the 10 phrases you use when you're angry. What makes you angry? Let us know in the comments. Also, subscribe the channel if you liked it. So if you want to see more videos like this, just check us out at GermanPod101.com. My name is Anja and I'll see you in the next video. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal.
Ein Mann sucht sich seinen Sitzplatz für seinen Flug aus. Wo ist sein Sitzplatz?
Haben Sie Sitzplätze verfügbar für den Flug morgen Abend?
Einen Moment bitte. Ist das für Economy-Klasse?
Ja.
Danke fürs Warten. Ja, wir haben noch Sitzplätze.
Oh, gut. Ich hätte gerne einen Sitzplatz am Gang, bitte.
Ich fürchte, alle Sitzplätze am Gang sind ausgebucht.
Ich verstehe, aber ich würde nicht gerne in der Mitte sitzen.
In dem Fall, würden Sie gerne einen Fensterplatz nehmen?
Ja, bitte.
Wo ist sein Sitzplatz? Ein Mann sucht sich seinen Sitzplatz für seinen Flug aus. Wo ist sein Sitzplatz?
Haben Sie Sitzplätze verfügbar für den Flug morgen Abend?
Einen Moment bitte. Ist das für Economy-Klasse?
Ja.
Danke fürs Warten. Ja, wir haben noch Sitzplätze.
Oh, gut. Ich hätte gerne einen Sitzplatz am Gang, bitte.
Ich fürchte, alle Sitzplätze am Gang sind ausgebucht.
Ich verstehe, aber ich würde nicht gerne in der Mitte sitzen.
In dem Fall, würden Sie gerne einen Fensterplatz nehmen?
Ja, bitte.
Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, what is schon in German and how do I use it? Schon literally means yet or already, such as hast du schon gegessen? Meaning have you eaten yet? Or es ist schon spät. It's already late. It's a really common German expression. Idiomatically, it's often used to make a statement friendlier or add emphasis. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to use schon correctly. A sample sentence would be es ist schon okay, which simply means it's okay, like you would say if you were forgiving someone who has offended you. It would be possible to use the sentence es ist okay, but this might seem a bit short and distant. You can think of it as saying, it's okay, it has already been forgiven and forgotten. Another example is schon gut, which literally translates to already good, it's okay, or apology accepted. This can be used as a response to someone apologizing for a minor mistake. For example, schon gut, mach dir keine Sorgen, which means it's okay, don't worry. If you're still upset about the situation, you can use the more curt schon gut, which applies, okay, let's not talk about it anymore and move on. You can also use this phrase, schon besser, which literally means already better. You may hear this, for example, if you receive feedback on something like a project or a report, make changes, and then present your changes to your teacher or boss. In this case, they might say, schon besser. This can come across in different ways depending on how it's said. A slow curt schon besser, emphasizing the schon, can come across as better but not good enough. But a friendly oh, das ist schon viel besser sounds much more uplifting and positive and can translate as oh, this is already much better. If you want to step up your German game a little with your friends, you can use the phrase die Sache ist schon gegessen, which literally means the thing has already been eaten. It's an idiom that actually means a negative incident has already been forgotten. Try using it the next time one of your German friends apologizes for something. One last insider hint is be careful not to confuse schon with schön, with an umlaut over the O. That means beautiful. Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, see you next time.
Learning a language requires a huge investment of time and often money as well. Many people are hesitant to put in the amount of effort required to become fluent. But learning a new language can be one of life's most rewarding experiences. Here are 5 reasons to learn a language. Number 1, more opportunities. A new language can open up many new doors. You're able to work in countries other than your own. Tons of employers look to hire multilingual professionals every year. Number 2, meeting new people. Get to know speakers of other languages on a more personal level. Meeting new people is one of the main reasons people begin to study a language. Making new friends is a good enough reason to start studying. Number 3, exploring a different culture. Whether you decide to live abroad or you're just taking a vacation, knowing the local language will allow you to better understand the people. This can open your eyes to not only their country, but your country as well. Learn how people view your home from their perspective. Number 4, health benefits. Studying a new language actually comes with health benefits. Keep your brain sharp by studying every day. You'll be helping your mind fight off old age and stay fresh. Number 5, discover you can do it. We've heard every excuse that people give for failing to learn a new language. Too old, not enough time, wrong genes. But you shouldn't let your excuses hold you back. You really can learn another language. You could even hold your first conversation just a few days from now. Don't make any more excuses. Just click to start speaking the language you've always wanted to learn. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Stop hesitating and start learning a new language now.
Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Henrik from GermanPop101.com and welcome to a new episode. I got some really cool stuff going on today. I'm gonna tell you about the top 10 sightseeing spots in Germany. So whenever you come around, make sure you hit those spots.
Allianz Arena. Allianz Arena.
Allianz Arena. Allianz Arena. Können Sie mir sagen, wo sich die Allianz Arena befindet? Können Sie mir sagen, wo sich die Allianz Arena befindet? Could you tell me where the Allianz Arena is located? The Allianz Arena, that's the stadium of a football club Bayern Munich, and I know many people would disagree with me out there, but that's really not the coolest club. So better watch out for where's the Weserstadion located. That's the one from Werder Bremen. Much better team.
Brandenburger Tor. Brandenburg Gate.
Brandenburger Tor. Brandenburg Gate. Das Brandenburger Tor ist eine Sehenswürdigkeit in Berlin. Das Brandenburger Tor ist eine Sehenswürdigkeit in Berlin. The Brandenburg Gate is a sightseeing spot in Berlin. Yeah, very famous one. I would guess probably the most famous German sightseeing spot. This huge gate, like right in the middle of Berlin. Very cool. It's close by many other sightseeing spots. So once you go to Berlin, really make sure you check that out. It's also where the Berlin Wall used to go along. So it's a cool one.
Europa Park. Europa Park.
Europa Park, or maybe Europe Park. Im Europa Park kann man alleine oder mit der Familie viel Spaß haben. Im Europapark kann man alleine oder mit der Familie viel Spaß haben. In the Europark, you can have lots of fun alone or with your family. Yeah, to be really honest, I've never really been there, so see, also shame on me. I'm showing you some sightseeing spots that I don't even know about, but I've heard about it. It's supposed to be very cool.
Kölner Dom. Cologne Cathedral.
Kölner Dom. Cologne Cathedral. Der Kölner Dom ist einfach atemberaubend. Der Kölner Dom ist einfach atemberaubend. The Cologne Cathedral is simply stunning. That's true. Fun fact about the Cologne Cathedral, at one point in history, I think about 1600 something, it was the tallest building in the entire world. Yeah, it's a very cool building, like it pops out of the Cologne silhouette. If you're in Cologne, you can almost see it from everywhere. It's a cool place to go. Unfortunately, almost always covered in some construction things because they always have to keep it in good shape, but it's a cool place.
Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest. Beim Oktoberfest sollte man unbedingt Weißbier probieren. Beim Oktoberfest sollte man unbedingt Weißbier probieren. During Oktoberfest, you should definitely try Weißbier. Yeah, who hasn't heard about Oktoberfest? One of the coolest things Germany has to offer, I would say. Right in the heart of Munich, every September, oddly. So, I don't know why it's not called Septemberfest. Yeah, I wouldn't go for the Weißbier. It's more the Helles, so-called, like the, yeah, some kind of German lager. What you drink there, but yeah, you have this huge 1 liter mugs, and everybody gets very happy after a few of those. And it's a cool thing. If you haven't checked it out, that should be on your to-do list of life. Something very particular. It's a lot of fun. You meet random people from all over the world. They have one weekend. It's even called the Italian weekend. So if you're from Italy, maybe that's the one you should check out. But yeah, Oktoberfest, good stuff. If you like beer, if you're not really into all the party stuff, then don't go check out Oktoberfest. Also, it's not really a sightseeing spot, it's more like a festival over 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I think 3 weeks. But yeah, if you're up for that, go to Bavaria, go to Munich.
Reichstag. Reichstag.
Reichstag. Reichstag. Die Architektur des Reichstags ist einfach atemberaubend. Die Architektur des Reichstags ist einfach atemberaubend. The architecture of the Reichstag is simply stunning. It's pretty cool. It's close to Brandenburg Gate. As I said previously, like some of the big sites of Berlin are very close to each other, so you could just walk there in, I don't know, probably 3-minute foot walk. You can also go in and book a tour and go up in the top in this glass ceiling, and then you would look down to where all the politicians sit every day doing politician stuff. Cool thing to check out. Berlin again.
Rothenburg ob der Tauber. Rothenburg ob der Tauber.
Rothenburg ob der Tauber. Rothenburg ob der Tauber. Rothenburg ob der Tauber ist eine weitestgehend erhaltene mittelalterliche Stadt. Rothenburg ob der Tauber ist eine weitestgehend erhaltene mittelalterliche Stadt. Rothenburg ob der Tauber is a largely preserved medieval town. Yeah, again, shame on me, one of those I haven't been to yet, but my parents went there just, I don't know, 1 or 2 years ago. They really like it. It's something special that you have here in many European countries, but also especially in Germany, that you have a lot of medieval towns that are well preserved. So if you're into all this old stuff, then that's a place you should check out. Rothenburg ob der Tauber. What a weird name for a city, isn't it? Yeah, even in Germany, don't think that's normal. I have no idea who came up with that. Yeah, probably some medieval old dude didn't know what to name his city, I guess.
Schloss Sans Souci. Sans Souci Castle.
Schloss Sans Souci. Sans Souci Castle. Schloss Sans Souci ist ein Sommerschloss. Schloss Sans Souci ist ein Sommerschloss. Sans Souci Castle is a summer castle. Also one of those places I actually have never been. It's very close to Berlin, a bit west, so yeah, if you want to like walk your way through this list, you already have 3 sites very close to each other. My parents went. They said it's also a very nice place. They have lots of gardens. You can walk in the gardens, so a good thing to do with your family also. I think it's very similar to the Castle of Versailles in France. Of course, this one is a bit more famous, probably a bit bigger, but from the style, it's kind of what you have in Versailles. So, but yeah, make sure to come in summer. As I said, it's a summer castle, so not so cool to be there on a rainy day, I'd say.
Starnberger See. Lake Starnberg.
Starnberger See. Lake Starnberg. Der Starnberger See ist ein See in Bayern. Der Starnberger See ist ein See in Bayern. Lake Starnberg is a lake in Bavaria. Did I actually tell you I recently moved to Bavaria, right into the heart of Munich, so that's one of the places I really want to check out. I guess it's very beautiful, a bit south of Munich, and on your way right to Italia. Cool place to hang out there. I think there are lots of fancy houses next to the lake. All the posh people of Munich might live there. Yeah, if you like nature stuff, or I don't know if you can go fish there or something, then that's definitely one of the sites you should check out.
Nürnberger Christkindlesmarkt. Nürnberg Christmas Market.
Nürnberger Christkindlesmarkt. Nürnberg Christmas Market. Der Nürnberger Christkindlesmarkt ist einer der schönsten Weihnachtsmärkte in ganz Deutschland. The Nuremberg Christmas Market is one of the most beautiful Christmas markets in Germany. Yeah, true. I personally, of course, I'm very proud of the Christmas market of my hometown. So we have this Christmas forest. There's like a square, and every winter they chop some trees and put them there, like these Christmas trees. And then if you go in, it really feels like in a forest, and you get some mulled hot wine there. But yeah, for sure, Nuremberg Christmas market also pretty cool. A thing you could only check out in winter. Don't go in summer to Nuremberg and think you will have the Christmas market. Okay, usually starting probably by the end of November, early December. You know when Christmas time is. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you get excited about seeing some of the sightseeing I told you about. Many of them I've seen, many of them are really cool. Others I still have to check out myself. See you next time. Subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, and see you then.
Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, what's the difference between nein, nicht and kein? Nein means no and is used in the same way as the English no, such as Nein danke, no thank you, or Wohnst du in Berlin? Nein, ich wohne in Hamburg. Do you live in Berlin? No, I live in Hamburg. Nicht means not and is used to make a sentence negative. Ich wohne nicht in Berlin. Ich auch nicht mean I don't live in Berlin, me neither, respectively. Kein is also used to make a sentence negative. However, it's only used before nouns with an indefinite article, such as or an in English, or no article at all. In these cases, kein replaces the need for nicht. For example, ich habe einen Hund. Ich habe keinen Hund, which means I have a dog and I don't have a dog, respectively. The second sentence literally means I have a dog. Let's do some more examples so you can learn how to use nein, nicht, and kein more effectively. Nein on its own is often considered rude, so people add danke in order to make the sentence nein danke, which means no thank you. For example, nein danke, ich habe schon gegessen, meaning no thank you, I have already eaten. If someone asks you if you ever have been somewhere, such as warst du schon mal in Rom? Have you ever been to Rome before? Simply saying the word nein might signal to the person you're talking to that the conversation has ended. So it may be better to say nein, noch nicht, which literally means no, never, so far. With the word nicht, a common expression is noch nicht, which means not yet. It's often the answer to a question containing the word schon, which means already or yet. For example, hast du den Film schon gesehen? Noch nicht. Have you seen the movie yet? Not yet. However, it can also be used to show you're planning on doing something. For example, warst du heute einkaufen? Noch nicht, aber ich gehe gleich. Which means, have you gone shopping today? Not yet, but I will go soon. An example with kein would be, ich habe keine Lust, which is a common expression meaning, I don't want to, or I don't feel like it. It's often used to complain about having to go to work, school, or a similar commitment, such as in, ich habe wirklich keine Lust auf Arbeiten heute, which means, I really don't feel like working today. It would be considered rude to use it as a direct reply to someone asking if you want to do something. In that case, it would be better to say, ich fühle mich nicht nach Arbeiten heute, which also means, I don't feel like working today, but implies that it's because you don't feel well. If you feel like you've got it and really want to challenge yourself, you can use all three in the same sentence with this phrase. Nein, ich kann nicht, ich habe keine Zeit, which means, no, I can't, I don't have time. Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, see you next time.
To master a new language and understand everything as soon as you hear it, to read with just a quick glance and speak smoothly without thinking, you need to review. Here are our top 5 review tactics. Number 1, listen to examples over and over again. By listening closely and often, you start to pick up the rhythm of a language, as well as correct pronunciation from a native speaker. Use our line-by-line feature that lets you both listen and read along. Use this tool to practice as much as possible. Number 2, use our voice recording tool to master perfect pronunciation. Record yourself and compare it against the native speaker. If you sound different, then repeat after the native speaker until you're able to match them. Use our voice recording feature, which makes recording super easy. Number 3, master your recorded conversations. Record conversations and go over them again and again. Master entire conversations and repeat them line by line. Use any of the dialogues available for download on our website. These come with transcripts of the entire conversation. Number 4, Use mobile devices to reinforce previously learned conversations. Constant review is the best way to progress in your language studies. Download the recorded dialogue to your mobile device and incorporate it into your music playlist. Quick reviews throughout the day effectively reinforce what you've learned. Number 5. Read with line-by-line notes. Read along with a native speaker to really master pronunciation and natural intonation. You should start slow at first, then slowly increase your speed. Your pronunciation will become more natural. You will also see that your ability to understand fluent speakers will greatly increase. You'll be able to improve your communication skills using these 5 simple review techniques. Increase your understanding of your target language. And remember, if you're interested in getting all these review tools, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start reviewing more every day.
You are at a train station where you're heading to the Lost and Found office to retrieve a lost passport. According to an email you received from the train company, what things do you need to provide to the staff? What things do you need to provide to the staff? The email says that you need to present proof of identification and to pay a small fee.
Identifikationsnachweis. Eine geringe Gebühr.
Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, what are the differences between du, dich, sie, and ihnen? Lowercase du means you informally, and dich means yourself or you as the direct object. Capital Z means you formally, and ihnen is you as the formal indirect object. Let's go over du and sie first. Du is used to address children and teenagers up to the age of 16, as well as family and friends. Sie is used to address adults you don't know well, in addition to teachers, bosses, colleagues, and everybody you come in contact with as part of a business transaction. Let's do some examples so you understand the differences between du, dich, sie, and ihnen more easily. The expression "Freust du dich auf den Urlaub," which means "Are you looking forward to the vacation?" comes from the verb sich freuen, meaning to be glad or to be happy. It's a reflexive verb, and the pronoun sich changes according to the subject. For example, ich freue mich, which means I am happy or I am glad. Du freust dich would be you're happy, and freut sich would be he's happy. Freust du dich auf den Urlaub? Is a common question, especially around school holidays. Teachers might ask this to the children in their class, or friends might ask each other if they've booked a vacation somewhere. Another sample sentence is, geht es Ihnen gut? Which means, are you well? This is used to address someone formally and ask how they feel. It's not to be confused with a standard greeting, wie geht es Ihnen? Meaning, how are you? Geht es Ihnen gut would be used if you noticed someone looks like they're not feeling well or might be in trouble. A final example is, gehen Sie, wenn es Ihnen nicht passt, which literally means, if you're not okay with it, leave. This sentence uses both Sie and Ihnen. Gehen Sie is the formal imperative, leave, and jemanden nicht passen, not to fit someone, is a common expression used to describe a piece of clothing that doesn't work on someone. For example, das Kleid passt mir nicht. The dress doesn't fit me. It's also used in non-ideal situations such as morgen passt mir nicht, meaning tomorrow is not good for me. There are two common phrases using du and sie and dich and ihnen respectively. The first one is was machst du, informally, or was machen sie, formally, both meaning what are you doing. The other phrase is wie geht es dir, informally, and wie geht es ihnen, formally, both meaning how are you. Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, see you next time. Hi, my name is Anja. Welcome to German Top Words. Today you'll be learning 5 sentence patterns for beginners. Mir ist nach. Mir ist nach. I feel like. Mir ist nach. I feel like. Mir ist nach Kino. Mir ist nach Kino. I feel like going to the cinema. But a more common way to say is ich habe Lust auf, or if you wanna say it with a slang, you can say ich habe Bock auf anything. Ich frage mich ob. Ich frage mich ob. I wonder if. Ich frage mich ob. I wonder if. Ich frage mich, ob unser Lehrer krank geworden ist. I wonder if our teacher got sick. Yeah, so translated it would mean I asked myself if our teacher got sick. Because you don't really say ich wundere, which means wonder. That's not a common way to say in German if you want to express that you're wondering about something. Es sieht danach aus, als ob. Es sieht danach aus, als ob. It seems like. Es sieht danach aus, als ob. It seems like. Es sieht danach aus, als ob es gleich regnen wird. Es sieht danach aus, als ob es gleich regnen wird. It seems like it would soon start to rain. Wenn es nach mir gehen würde. Wenn es nach mir gehen würde. If it were up to me. Wenn es nach mir gehen würde. If it were up to me. Wenn es nach mir gehen würde, hätte ich schon längst gekündigt. If it were up to me, I would have already resigned. So you say it if you want to express that if no one has something against it, or if I'm allowed to decide, then I would do it like this and that. Wenn es nach mir gehen würde. Kannst du mir mehr über erzählen? Kannst du mir mehr über erzählen? Can you tell me more about? Kannst du mir mehr über erzählen? Can you tell me more about? For example, if someone went to New Zealand and you really want to go to New Zealand too someday and you want to learn more about the country, then you can be like, kannst du mir mehr über Neuseeland erzählen, about your journey in New Zealand? Because, yeah, I'm really interested and I want to know about the places to go and some places that you recommend. So, yeah, that would be an example to use this phrase. Kannst du mir mehr über deutsches Bier erzählen? Kannst du mir mehr über deutsches Bier erzählen? Can you tell me more about German beer? Thank you everyone for watching. This was our lesson for today. 5 sentence patterns for beginners. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel and make sure to like it. Also, don't forget to check out our website, germanpod101.com. See you in the next video.
Want to speak real German from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at germanpod101.com.
Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, what are the different versions of ein and eine, and how do I use them? Ein and eine are indefinite articles like a and an in English. You can also use these articles for the word one, but only when you're counting. For example, ein Hund, one dog, or eine Katze, one cat. They shouldn't be confused with the actual number for one, which is eins. Ein is used for masculine and neuter nouns. One man is masculine, so it would be ein Mann, while one house is neuter, so it would be ein Haus. Eine is used for feminine nouns. Eine Frau, for example, would be one woman. The indefinite article changes according to the case of the noun. There are 4 cases: nominative, accusative, genitive, and dative. If the noun is in the nominative case, the articles are ein in masculine and neuter and eine in feminine. For example, es ist ein schönes Haus, meaning it's a nice house. If the noun is in the accusative case, it's einen masculine, eine feminine, and ein neuter. An example would be, ich rufe einen Kollegen an. I am calling a male colleague. If the noun is in the genitive case, the articles change to eines, masculine neuter, and einer, feminine. For example, es ist das Auto einer Freundin, meaning it's the car of a female friend. If the noun is in the dative case, the articles change to einem, masculine neuter, and einer, feminine. For example, das Land gehört einem Unternehmen, meaning the land belongs to a neuter company. The accusative case is the only case in which the masculine and the neuter indefinite articles are different from each other. For feminine indefinite articles, eine in nominative and accusative or einer in genitive and dative are the only options. If you feel like you have a handle on indefinite articles, try this fun sentence. Ich habe einen Hund, eine Katze und ein Meerschweinchen, which means I have a dog, a cat, and a guinea pig. Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, see you next time. Okay, hey everyone! Today we'll be talking about the 5 most popular German bands. Rammstein. Rammstein, a hard rock band. Rammstein, so Rammstein. Rammstein, a hard rock band. Rammstein ist eine international sehr bekannte deutsche Hardrock-Band. Rammstein is an internationally well-known German hard rock band. Tokyo Hotel. Tokyo Hotel. Tokyo Hotel, a rock band. Tokyo Hotel. Tokyo Hotel, a rock band. Tokyo Hotel ist eine deutsche Rockband, die 2001 gegründet wurde. Tokyo Hotel ist eine deutsche Rockband, die 2001 gegründet wurde. Yes, so I remember them. They were very famous when I was a teenager, and they had like all these 13-year-old girls fans, and yeah, they were really crazy about them, but yeah, that's it. Die Ärzte. Die Ärzte. Die Ärzte, a punk band. Die Ärzte, a punk band. Die Ärzte sind eine der bekanntesten deutschen Punk-Rock-Bands. Die Ärzte sind eine der bekanntesten deutschen Punk-Rock-Bands. Die Ärzte is one of the best-known German punk-rock bands. Yes, so they're very long existing too. They came out with this very famous song. It's very old. It was called Männer sind Schweine. Men are pigs. And it went, Männer sind Schweine. Like, yeah, it was, they were talking very bad about men. Yeah, they became very famous with it, so. Scorpions. Scorpions. Scorpions, a rock band. Scorpions. Scorpions, a rock band. Rudolf Schenker ist das einzige konstante Mitglied der Scorpions. The Scorpions' only constant member has been Rudolf Schenker. I don't know them that well. I didn't even know they were a German band. Modern Talking. Modern Talking, a pop band. Modern Talking. Modern Talking, a pop band. Die sehr bekannte Band Modern Talking besteht aus Dieter Bohlen und Thomas Anders. Die sehr bekannte Band Modern Talking bestand aus Dieter Bohlen und Thomas Anders. The very famous band Modern Talking consisted of Dieter Bohlen and Thomas Anders. Dieter Bohlen is actually one of the judges of Deutschland sucht den Superstar, which is similar to American Idol, or the singing competition show. Okay, so these were the 5 most popular German bands. If you have any German bands that you like, let me know. I'd be very curious about it. Don't forget to check out our website, germanpod101.com. See you in the next video. Bye! Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, why does German use 2 different words for joke? Both Witz and Scherz can be translated as joke. Witz is used in the actual sense of telling a joke, and a Scherz can be a prank or an ironic comment. A good insider tip is to know the phrase war ein Scherz. It roughly translates to it was a joke, and is often added after saying something that could potentially offend someone. It's used to either clarify that you're not being serious or even to retract the statement. So if you hear this, don't take what the person said to heart. Let's do some examples so you can use Witz and Scherz correctly. The phrase sehr witzig means very funny. It's often used ironically when you don't find something funny or when you're trying to tease someone. Another example would be, du bist heute aber zu Scherzen aufgelegt. This means you're in a silly mood today. It literally translates to, you've been set up to crack jokes today. The aber, meaning but, is used for emphasis. An additional good phrase to know is, du machst Witze. This means, are you kidding? Accompanied by a facial expression of disbelief. This might be used when hearing surprising or even shocking news, though nothing too serious, like death or illness from a friend. An interesting fact is that there are 2 colloquial verbs based on Witz and Scherz. The first is witzeln, meaning to quip, and the second is scherzen, meaning to joke. Both are used when people are being silly and joking around a lot. If you feel like you're getting the hang of German humor, you can try this fun phrase. Hast du einen Clown gefrühstückt? This literally means, have you eaten a clown for breakfast? It's an ironic expression that actually means, well, aren't you being funny or silly today? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye!
You are exiting a train station when a big notice posted on the bulletin board catches your attention. The notice highlights permanent changes made to the train schedule. How will trains on Fridays be affected? How will trains on Fridays be affected? Trains on Fridays will now start at 6 a.m. and will end at 1 a.m.
Alle Fahrten ab 6 Uhr bis 1 Uhr.
Hey guys, this is Anja. Welcome to German Top Words. Today you'll be learning 10 ways to motivate yourself when learning German. Ich kann mir vorstellen, eines Tages Deutschland zu bereisen oder dort zu leben. Ich kann mir vorstellen, eines Tages Deutschland zu bereisen oder dort zu leben. I imagine that one day I will visit or live in Germany. So, if you want to live in Germany, I recommend you to live in Berlin. I lived there for 2 years, and it's a very multicultural city where lots of different ethnicities come together. And yeah, it's just very... In the summer, it's a really great place to be. Everyone is very relaxed and chilled, and you could just hang out outside and drink some beer and yeah, whatever, have some fun. Ich studiere auch andere Aspekte der Kultur, was einen anspornenden Effekt beim Deutschlernen hat. Ich studiere auch andere Aspekte der Kultur, was einen anspornenden Effekt beim Deutschlernen hat. I study other aspects of the culture too, which makes it more rewarding to study German. Yeah, so if you're interested in the German culture, you could check out different museums or study about classical music or go to the theater, which is very also cheap, especially for students. You can just go there for a few euros and yeah, enjoy some nice historical theaters. Ich mag es, witzige Wörter auf Deutsch zu suchen. Ich mag es, witzige Wörter auf Deutsch zu suchen. I like to search funny words in German. So, yeah, German has these very long words that are built out of, I don't know, maybe 3 or 2 to 4 words. Like, I don't know, for example, just auf Wiedersehen. If you say goodbye, in a formal way, you say auf Wiedersehen, which is auf and Wiedersehen is pretty long. I was also asked if it's not like hard to write it every time, these long words. Or there are also funny sounding words like Streichholzschächtelchen. I think to not German-speaking people, these or sounding words are pretty funny. Ich habe mich mit Leuten angefreundet, die Deutsch sprechen. Ich habe mich mit Leuten angefreundet, die Deutsch sprechen. I make friends with people who speak German. That's probably the best way to learn German, if you can just use it naturally in reality, if you get the chance to speak in that language. I mean, of course, it's always good to have German lessons and to learn about grammar and stuff, to actually be able to use it and also to speak a lot by yourself. That should be really, really helpful. Ich schaue mir YouTube-Videos von anderen Leuten an, die mit Erfolg Deutsch gelernt haben. Ich schaue mir YouTube-Videos von anderen Leuten an, die mit Erfolg Deutsch gelernt haben. I watch YouTube videos of other people who have successfully learned German. I don't know anyone who successfully learned German, but it would also be really helpful, since German is a really hard language to learn, I think. As a native German speaker, I think, yeah, the grammar and everything is pretty complicated compared to other languages. So, yes, it would be really good to get some tips from people who learned it. Ich habe Spaß daran, Deutsch anzuwenden, in deutschen Restaurants zu bestellen. Ich habe Spaß daran, Deutsch anzuwenden, in deutschen Restaurants zu bestellen. I enjoy using German to order at German restaurants. Yeah, that's really cool. I think you should go to German restaurants and order some schnitzel or like typical German dishes like Gulasch or Rinderbraten or with Klöße. Have some sauerkraut with Würstchen and a beer. Yes, that would be some really typical German meal to have. Yeah, it's gonna be a good portion. Ich schaue deutsche Filme und TV-Shows und freue mich, wenn ich ein Wort oder einen Satz verstehe. Ich schaue deutsche Filme und TV-Shows und freue mich, wenn ich ein Wort oder einen Satz verstehe. I watch German movies and TV shows and enjoy the feeling when I can understand a word or a sentence. Oh, I actually know people who learn German from German soap operas. They really use easy words and, you know, just casual daily situations. I think that's a good, helpful way to learn or understand phrases and words. So I don't know if they're still going on, but there are soap operas called GZSZ, Gute Zeiten, Schlechte Zeiten, or Marienhof, or Verbotene Liebe. I mean, they're not very exciting, to be honest, but I think it's a really good way to learn German and to understand words. Nach dem Abendessen schreibe ich einen Tagebucheintrag auf Deutsch. Nach dem Abendessen schreibe ich einen Tagebucheintrag auf Deutsch. After dinner, I write in my journal in German. I think that's a really good way to practice your German skills as well, because yeah, you actually get to write what you really think and what you really want to say, so you might look up words and learn new vocabularies and yes, really learn how to express your own feelings and what you want to say. Ich höre deutsche Songs und Podcasts, auch wenn ich schlafe. Ich höre deutsche Songs und Podcasts, auch wenn ich schlafe. I listen to German songs and podcasts even when I'm sleeping. Yeah, so listening to German phrases and especially music, I think it's a very good way to take in the German pronunciations, and it's a good way to learn, to pick up vocabularies, and yeah, I think you will learn subconsciously. So yes, I think it would be a really effective way to learn it. Ich lerne jeden Tag im Zug mit Vokabelkarten nützliche Wörter und Phrasen. Ich lerne jeden Tag im Zug mit Vokabelkarten nützliche Wörter und Phrasen. I practice useful words and phrases with flashcards every day on the train. Yes, I think that's a very old way to practice words and a language. I used to do that too. When I was learning English, we always had those vocabulary tests. So therefore, I also had my flashcards and yeah, went over them all the time and try to say them by myself. So yeah, I just think it's a very good way to memorize those words if you just go over them 100 times. So that you finally learned them and that they're stuck in your head and that you don't forget them. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please tell me what motivates you in order to learn German. Don't forget to check out our website germanpod101.com, and I hope to see you in our next lesson. Bye! Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, what does ja mean in German and how do I use it? The German language uses a lot of little words in sentences to slightly change the tone. It could be to add emphasis to make a statement less direct or less harsh, to comfort someone, to acknowledge a fact, to express surprise, and more. One of these words is ja. Ja normally means yes. However, when used in the middle of a sentence, the meaning is different. For example, in the sentence, Du sprichst ja auch Deutsch, meaning, you speak German too. It cannot be translated as yes. There is no direct translation. Here, it's just emphasizing that the person you're speaking to can also speak German. Break it down so you can understand how to use ja more easily. Let's use this scenario as an example. A German and a non-German person are talking about an exam they took in German. The German person says, Ich fand den Test einfach, which means, I found the exam easy. The non-German person might respond with, Du sprichst ja auch Deutsch, meaning, well, of course you would, since you can speak German. Let's do another example, with Ich gehe ja schon, meaning, I'm already going. You would use the sentence if someone has repeatedly asked you to do something. The ja refers to the fact that you know you have been asked a number of times and can be translated as, okay, I'm going, stop nagging me. Ja can also be used in the following scenario. Ist ja auch so, meaning, well, that's how it is. This time, the ja makes the sentence sound a bit defiant. For example, if someone says, Du beschwerst dich oft über Staus auf der Autobahn, meaning, you often complain about traffic jams on the highway. The other person might, in a slightly annoyed tone, reply with, Ist ja auch so. Well, that's just how it is. Let's do one last example. Imagine you're feeling hungry and you remember there are some cookies in the kitchen. However, when you open the jar, there are none left. You might say, Nanu, die Kekse sind ja schon alle, meaning, oh, the cookies are all gone already. In this case, ja adds an element of surprise. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, see you next time.
Learning a language requires a huge investment of time and often money as well. Many people are hesitant to put in the amount of effort required to become fluent. But learning a new language can be one of life's most rewarding experiences. Here are 5 reasons to learn a language. Number 1, more opportunities. A new language can open up many new doors. You're able to work in countries other than your own. Tons of employers look to hire multilingual professionals every year. Number 2, meeting new people. Get to know speakers of other languages on a more personal level. Meeting new people is one of the main reasons people begin to study a language. Making new friends is a good enough reason to start studying. Number 3, exploring a different culture. Whether you decide to live abroad or you're just taking a vacation, knowing the local language will allow you to better understand the people. This can open your eyes to not only their country, but your country as well. Learn how people view your home from their perspective. Number 4, health benefits. Studying a new language actually comes with health benefits. Keep your brain sharp by studying every day. You'll be helping your mind fight off old age and stay fresh. Number 5, discover you can do it. We've heard every excuse that people give for failing to learn a new language. Too old, not enough time, wrong genes. But you shouldn't let your excuses hold you back. You really can learn another language. You could even hold your first conversation just a few days from now. Don't make any more excuses. Just click to start speaking the language you've always wanted to learn. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Stop hesitating and start learning a new language now.
Hi everyone, welcome to German Top Words. Today we'll be learning about 10 phrases to help you in an emergency. Alright. Bitte rufen Sie die Polizei. Bitte rufen Sie die Polizei. Call the police, please. Yeah, so if you got caught in an emergency, then you can just say to someone, call the police, please. Haben Sie Fieber? Haben Sie Fieber? Do you have a fever? So if someone's not feeling well or looks really sick, or if you're at the doctor, then he might ask, haben Sie Fieber? Ich habe meinen Reisepass verloren. Ich habe meinen Reisepass verloren. I lost my passport. I once thought I had lost my passport, but then luckily I found it in my suitcase, so I was safe. Nothing happened. Ich glaube, ich habe etwas Schlechtes gegessen. Ich glaube, ich habe etwas Schlechtes gegessen. I think I ate something bad. So when you're not feeling well, when you have a stomach ache, then you would say, ich glaube, ich habe etwas Schlechtes gegessen. Ich brauche einen Arzt. Ich brauche einen Arzt. I need a doctor. If you want someone to call an ambulance, then you would be like, ich brauche einen Arzt. But that sounds really, really urgent. Ich finde den Weg nicht zurück zu meinem Hotel. Ich finde den Weg nicht zurück zu meinem Hotel. I can't find the way back to my hotel. So if you're, for example, in a foreign country and you took a walk and you got lost suddenly, then you could go to some person and say, ich finde den Weg nicht zurück zu meinem Hotel. Can you help me, please? Können Sie mir helfen? Gibt es eine Apotheke in der Nähe? Gibt es eine Apotheke in der Nähe? Is there a pharmacy nearby? So in Germany there are many different pharmacies. They're called Apotheke, like Sonnenapotheke or something Apotheke. They all have different names. And it's also a very common occupation to be an Apotheker, to be a pharmacist. Ich habe mich verlaufen. Ich habe mich verlaufen. I'm lost. And then you could add, can you help me, please? Können Sie mir helfen? Ich brauche einen Krankenwagen. Ich brauche einen Krankenwagen. I need an ambulance. When something really, really bad happened, like you broke your leg or you're suffering under really, really bad pain, then you would say, ich brauche einen Krankenwagen. Or, könnt ihr einen Krankenwagen rufen? Can you please call an ambulance? Bitte rufen Sie die Feuerwehr. Bitte rufen Sie die Feuerwehr. Please call the fire department. If you see a fire somewhere, if your house is burning, then say to someone, bitte rufen Sie die Feuerwehr, or just Feuerwehr. Okay, so these were 10 phrases to help you in an emergency. I hope you will never use them. I don't want you to get caught in an emergency. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Don't forget to check out our website, germanpod101.com. Bye. Peace. Hi everybody, Anja here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common German questions. The question for this lesson is, what is the difference between Urlaub and Ferien? Ferien and Urlaub can both be translated as vacation or holiday. Urlaub originally comes from the verb erlauben, or to allow, meaning you were asking to be allowed to leave work. Ferien is used to refer to a period of free time with no school or work. These vacations have been set by the government, for example, summer holidays, Christmas holidays, Easter holidays, and so on. Urlaub is used to refer to time an individual takes off from work, which is not set by the country or state. It's also used to refer to an actual vacation. For example, a father and mother might apply for Urlaub, or time off work, so that they can go in den Urlaub, on vacation, with their children. Let's do some examples so you can see how to use Ferien and Urlaub correctly. In den Sommerferien hat die Schule zu. For example, means the school is closed during the summer holidays. Ferien is used as Sommerferien, which means summer holidays. This is a fixed period of 6 weeks off set by the government for each of the 16 states. Let's do another example. Ich bin nächste Woche nicht im Büro, weil ich Urlaub habe, which means I won't be in the office next week because I have a week off. Here, Urlaub is used. It's a period of time of work that each individual employee can decide to take at different times. Let's do another example with Urlaub. Ich hatte einen tollen Urlaub in Südfrankreich means I had a great vacation in the south of France. In this case, Urlaub means a vacation that an individual took that is unrelated to the government-set holidays. An interesting distinction between Urlaub and Ferien is school children and university students have Ferien, but employees have Urlaub. However, in den Urlaub fahren, to go to vacation is for everyone. Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, see you next time. Okay, hey everyone! Today we'll be talking about the 5 most popular German bands. Rammstein. Rammstein, a hard rock band. Rammstein, so Rammstein. Rammstein, a hard rock band. Rammstein ist eine international sehr bekannte deutsche Hardrock-Band. Rammstein is an internationally well-known German hard rock band. Tokyo Hotel. Tokyo Hotel. Tokyo Hotel, a rock band. Tokyo Hotel. Tokyo Hotel, a rock band. Tokyo Hotel ist eine deutsche Rockband, die 2001 gegründet wurde. Tokyo Hotel ist eine deutsche Rockband, die 2001 gegründet wurde. Yes, so I remember them. They were very famous when I was a teenager, and they had like all these 13-year-old girls fans, and yeah, they were really crazy about them, but yeah, that's it. Die Ärzte. Die Ärzte. Die Ärzte, a punk band. Die Ärzte, a punk band. Die Ärzte sind eine der bekanntesten deutschen Punk-Rock-Bands. Die Ärzte sind eine der bekanntesten deutschen Punk-Rock-Bands. Die Ärzte is one of the best-known German punk-rock bands. Yes, so they're very long existing too. They came out with this very famous song. It's very old. It was called Männer sind Schweine. Men are pigs. And it went Männer sind Schweine. Like, yeah, it was, they were talking very bad about men. Yeah, they became very famous with it, so. Scorpions. Scorpions. Scorpions, a rock band. Scorpions. Scorpions, a rock band. Rudolf Schenker ist das einzige konstante Mitglied der Scorpions. The Scorpions' only constant member has been Rudolf Schenker. I don't know them that well. I didn't even know they were a German band. Modern Talking. Modern Talking, a pop band. Modern Talking. Modern Talking, a pop band. Die sehr bekannte Band Modern Talking besteht aus Dieter Bohlen und Thomas Anders. Die sehr bekannte Band Modern Talking bestand aus Dieter Bohlen und Thomas Anders. The very famous band Modern Talking consisted of Dieter Bohlen and Thomas Anders. Dieter Bohlen is actually one of the judges of Deutschland sucht den Superstar, which is similar to American Idol, or the singing competition show. Okay, so these were the 5 most popular German bands. If you have any German bands that you like, let me know. I'd be very curious about it. Don't forget to check out our website, GermanPod101.com. See you in the next video. Bye!
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now. In this series, you'll master German pronunciation. Proper pronunciation is essential in German, and in this series, you'll learn it in a fast, comprehensive, and easy way. In this first lesson, you'll learn about the building blocks of the German pronunciation system that will help you in future lessons. The letters used in German are the same as the letters you use in English, with the exception of one new letter and some letters with 2 dots over them. But be careful not to fall into a very common trap. As you're learning to speak correctly, you shouldn't concern yourself with all the letters. That's right, forget them. You care about the sounds of German, and here they are. There are 28 consonant sounds and 17 vowel sounds. You can form every single word in German by using these sounds. Still seem complicated? Well, how about this? Of the 28 consonant sounds in German, you already know 20 of them. That's right. If you're a native English speaker, then you already make these sounds every day. You can also ignore 7 of the vowel sounds for the same reason. The only thing standing between you and perfect German pronunciation are 8 new consonant and 10 new vowel sounds. You can handle that. Now let me introduce Alisa, who will be helping you to master these new sounds.
Hallo, ich bin Alisa.
Alisa will be giving you native pronunciation examples to imitate. But for this first lesson, just sit back and listen to the unique sounds of German.
Nicht, Apfel, Rost, Rübe, Schmarrn, Zahl, Kuchen, bearbeiten, füllt, über, Fuß, Seele, Öl, aber, Hölle, Ober, Wasser, Bahn.
In the next lesson, we'll look at the top 5 pronunciation mistakes German learners make. You'll want to make sure not to fall into these common traps. After that, we'll begin going through the vowels and consonants of German. This is your chance to learn how to correctly say all of the words you just heard. We'll finish up the series by covering some special topics that will really make your German sound natural. To close this lesson, here's a question for you. Why is it important to spend time on learning proper pronunciation, even if you're already an advanced speaker? The answer? You will be understood, and this will help you build more confidence as you communicate in German. For beginners, you're creating a strong foundation to build on. And for more advanced students, this is your chance to improve your accent and lose any bad habits you may have picked up. These are common mistakes that students of German tend to make. So pay close attention and make sure that you don't make these same mistakes too. Are you ready? Then let's get started. Number 1. Pronouncing German words with an English accent. English and German have many words in common, so the tendency is to pronounce them as you would pronounce them in English. Compare a few English words with their German derivatives. Pretzel,
Brezel,
bagel,
Bagel,
cobalt,
Kobalt,
Autobahn.
Autobahn.
The difference is quite obvious. Be sure to always pronounce words using German consonant and vowel sounds when speaking German. Get out of the habit of pronouncing these words as you would in English. While it may feel unnatural to say these words in a different manner than what you're used to, realize that it actually sounds more natural to native German listeners. Number 2. Under-enunciating vowels and final syllables. While both English and German have vowel reductions of some sort, English is much more lax than German. This means that many English speakers tend to under-enunciate vowels. The same applies to final syllables as well. Take, for example,
Ich habe mir heute ein Stück Kuchen gegönnt.
Learners of German would often be unclear in these problem areas. The problem gets worse when an indirect or direct object is involved, as this makes it even more difficult for a listener to understand what it is exactly you're trying to say.
In meinem Auto habe ich eine Spinne entdeckt. Ich habe mir einen Koffer gekauft.
As you can see, both markers for the indirect and the direct object are quite similar. If you do not enunciate the endings clearly, you'll be difficult to understand. Number 3. Using the wrong intonation. Students of German often use the incorrect pitch when saying a complete sentence or question. When you connect phrases leading up to a complete sentence, the endings of each phrase should rise in pitch. It's only at the final phrase of the sentence that the pitch falls if it's a statement. Take a look at this example.
Marie macht das Fenster zu, denn ihr ist kalt.
Notice how the pitch rises at the end of the first clause and falls at the end of the sentence?
Würden Sie mir verraten, wie ich zum Bahnhof komme?
Once again, the pitch rises at the end of the first clause, but this time the pitch also rises at the end since it's a question. Number 4, mispronouncing the German R. English speakers typically associate all R-like sounds with some manner of articulation using the tip of the tongue and somewhere in the front part of the mouth. The German R, however, actually comes from the throat using the back of the mouth. Listen to a few examples which use this letter.
Rost, Rast, Rutsch.
We'll take an in-depth look at pronouncing German R sounds in Lesson 6. Number 5, mispronouncing consonant combinations with the letter S. When combined with other consonants in German, the letter S typically changes to a sh sound. When S is paired with an H,
Show, Schare, Ware.
When S is paired with CH,
Scheck, Komisch, Fisch.
When S is paired before a P at the beginning of a word or the first syllable,
Spiel, Sprechen.
When S is paired before a T at the beginning of a word or the first syllable,
Stadt, Studieren.
As you can see, there are many instances in which the letter S changes to a sh sound. We'll cover more of this in Lesson 8. Now you know the top 5 German pronunciation mistakes to avoid. Try to be careful so that you don't make these same mistakes. Still feel a bit worried? Over the rest of this series, we'll cover all of these topics in depth. In this lesson, you'll learn all 17 German vowel sounds.
A, O, Ö, E, Ö, Ä, Ä, E, I, Ü, I, Ü, O, U, U.
With these sounds, you can pronounce any vowel that could possibly appear in German. Some vowels may be hard for you to distinguish, especially for English speakers, so make sure you listen carefully. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first vowel is
A, maximal, Wasser, Dach.
It's very similar to the A sound in the word pat, though not as whiny. Try moving your tongue further back into the mouth so that it assumes a more centralized position. It should sound a little deeper as a result, and instead of a whiny sound, it now has a darker quality to it. The resulting vowel should sound somewhere in between the A sounds of the words pat and bra. Listen to Elisa.
A, 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 A.
The next vowel is
A, Bahn, Saal, Vater.
This is identical to the previous sound, except it's held for twice as long.
A, 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 A.
The next vowel is
O, oder, aber, Ober.
This is identical to the previous sound, except that the tongue is raised a tiny bit higher. The sound typically occurs at the end of a word and is pronounced softly.
O, O. O, O.
The next vowel is
Ö, Hölle, göttlich, erörtern.
This sounds roughly like the U in the word hurt. To pronounce this sound, however, try saying the E sound in the word red while rounding your lips.
Ö, Ö. Ö, Ö.
The next vowel is
E, Seele, Meer, Beet.
This sounds a little bit like the double E in the word feet, except your tongue is not as high. Try to relax your jaw and say it as if to allow the vowel to spill out. Listen to Elisa.
E, 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 E.
The next vowel is
Ö, öde, hören, schön.
This is identical to the previous sound, except that the lips are rounded. Try to say the word play while rounding your lips.
Ö, Ö. Ö, Ö.
The next vowel is
Ä, hätte, Männer, Bett.
It's identical to the E sound in the word red.
Ä, Ä. Ä, Ä.
The next vowel is
Ä, wähle, spät, Länge.
This is identical to the previous sound, except that it's pronounced twice as long.
Ä, Ä. Ä, Ä.
The next vowel is
E, halte, behalten, gesund.
It's identical to the E sound at the end of the word problem.
E, E. E, E.
The next vowel is
I, viel, Bibel, Ziel.
It's identical to the double E sound in the word see.
I, I. I, I.
The next vowel is
Ü, über, Mykene, Rübe.
It's identical to the previous sound, except that the lips are rounded. Try saying the word see while rounding your lips.
Ü, Ü. Ü, Ü.
The next vowel is
I, bitte, willig, bist.
It's identical to the I sound in the word it.
I, I. I, I.
The next vowel is
Ü. Füllt, Rhythmus, schützen.
It's identical to the previous sound, except that the lips are rounded. Try saying the word it while rounding your lips.
Ü, Ü. Ü, Ü.
The next vowel is
O, voll, kommen, Ort.
It's identical to the OU sound in the word ought.
O, O. O, O.
The next vowel is
O, oder, Boot, Moos.
This is very similar to the previous sound, except your tongue is positioned a little bit higher. It's quite similar to the O sound in the word O, though be careful not to carry over the W sound too much. Listen to Elisa.
O, O. O, O.
The next vowel is
U, Fuß, Blume, Hut.
It's identical to the double O sound in the word boot.
U, U. U, U.
And the last vowel is
U. Schutz, kurz, Putz.
It's identical to the double O sound in the word took.
U, U. U, U.
Well done! You've just learned all 17 vowels in German.
A, O, Ö. E, Ö, Ä, Ä, E, I, Ü, I, Ü, O, O, U, U.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of German pronunciation. German uses the exact same letters as English. It also uses one extra character and has unique markers which look like two dots appearing over some vowels.
But let's try not to focus and rely on the German letters too much. Let's focus on the sounds. There are a total of 28 consonant sounds and 17 vowel sounds in German. The good news is that most of these sounds are identical to English. A, E, I, O, U.
As you heard, these vowels don't sound that different from English.
One thing to note, though, is that German vowels are pronounced much more clearly than English. We also have more vowel sounds than English. So that's why it's very important that we pronounce them clearly. Unlike English, we try to maintain a constant pitch from start to finish without tapering off. A, E, I, O, U.
Some vowel sounds will be unfamiliar to you.
Some vowels, such as A, O, and U, can have two dots over them. We call these dots Umlaute. They indicate a change in the original pronunciation of the vowel. Compare the following pairs of vowels. A, Ä, O, Ö, U, Ü. The vowels with the two dots over them are essentially a combination between the vowel and the E sound. Sometimes they're represented as AE, OE, or UE.
Now let's take a look at German consonants. Like vowels, German consonants are predominantly similar to English.
B, D.
Other consonant sounds, however, may be a little more challenging.
Rost, Rübe, Schmarrn. These are the sounds that you need to focus on perfecting.
Okay, let's move on. Some consonants in German aren't actually pronounced as they look to an English speaker. Let's take a look at some of these letters.
The German V isn't pronounced like an English V, but as an F sound. So both V and F in German are pronounced as an F sound. Vogel, Fett.
The German W, on the other hand, is pronounced like a V sound.
Wasser, Wagen. German is also notorious for its Ich and Ach sounds.
The German CH isn't pronounced like the CH in church.
Ich, Licht, Recht.
It could also be pronounced another way.
Wach, Dach, noch.
The former is pronounced closer to the front of the mouth, while the latter is pronounced at the back of the mouth. Next is the SCH. This one is actually pronounced like the sh in sheet.
Schmal, schnell, Schlaf.
Now that you have gained a better understanding of German sounds, let's take a closer look at some common mistakes and how to fix them. We mentioned before that English speakers do not maintain the pitch of the vowel throughout. This often occurs because English speakers tend to glide on the vowel, needlessly adding a Y sound as they prolong the vowel.
When pronouncing German vowels, try to maintain the same pitch throughout the vowel. Bad, Nebel, Igel, Ohr, U-Boot. Bär, blöd, über.
Another challenging sound is the German guttural R sound.
Rund, Rast.
You want to produce the sound at the back of your throat, as if you're gargling water. Try it.
R, R.
Well done! In this lesson, you were introduced to German pronunciation. You learned that English and German share a lot of similar consonant and vowel sounds. You also learned that German vowels are pronounced evenly throughout. And in this lesson, you were introduced to some unfamiliar German sounds and the common mistakes that learners make. You've decided to study a new language. So now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1, create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2, make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3, find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4, use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go! Number 5, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
The question for this lesson is, what is the difference between Entschuldigung, entschuldigen Sie, and entschuldige? Let's start from the beginning. The verb entschuldigen can be literally translated as to take away the guilt, with die Schuld meaning the guilt. This means you're asking the other person to free you from feeling guilty for whatever you're apologizing for. Both Entschuldigung and entschuldigen Sie, which are formal, and entschuldige, which is informal, are used to apologize to someone. Entschuldigen Sie und entschuldige are the imperative of entschuldigen, which means to excuse, and Entschuldigung means apology. While both expressions can often be used interchangeably, a conversation between a parent and their child might go like this: Entschuldige dich, apologize, to which the child will reply Entschuldigung, meaning apology. Or more naturally in English, sorry. Entschuldigung can often stand on its own as an apology, but entschuldigen Sie or entschuldige often need another sentence to explain what you're apologizing for, such as entschuldigen Sie, dass ich zu spät war, which means excuse me being late, or entschuldigen Sie die Störung, meaning excuse the disruption. Entschuldigen Sie is formal, so this would be used at work. For example, when a colleague disrupts a meeting or, very politely, simply before asking a colleague a question. Another common phrase is Entschuldigung, das wollte ich nicht, meaning apologies, I didn't want that to happen. This can be used in many situations, and the das wollte ich nicht implies that whatever you did was an accident. This phrase can be used for anything from apologizing for dropping a plate at home to apologizing to your boss for breaking your computer at work. It's usually used when your mistake was noticed by another person and that person makes you aware of what you did. Another example is ist entschuldigt, which directly translates as he's excused. This is commonly only at school when parents write a note for their children when they are sick. Their absence is then called an entschuldigt. In casual situations, for example, if a friend is a few minutes late, many people would just shorten this phrase by saying Entschuldigung. For example, Entschuldigung, ich stand im Stau, which means, sorry, I was caught in traffic. Increasingly, people also say just sorry in very casual or friendly situations.
The top hardest words to pronounce in German. Let's do this. Ähnlich, similar. Ich sehe meinem Bruder ähnlich. I look similar to my brother. Is the A umlaut in CH, which you kind of pronounce here, and h. It's kind of I always explain it as a snake, like so ähnlich. Eichhörnchen, squirrel, squirrel. Yeah, this one is very hard because there's a lot of and then Ich finde Eichhörnchen sehr süß. I think squirrels are very cute. So Eichhörnchen. Hörnchen is the cute form of horns. So if you refer to something kind of cute and little, you always add a chen. Etikettierung, labeling. Etikett is the label, and Etikettierung is if you are labeling something. Mein Schulranzen hatte eine Etikettierung. My school bag had a label with my name on it. Hose, pants, die Hose. Ich habe heute eine Jeanshose an. Today I'm wearing jeans. Streichholzschachtel, matchbox. It's die Streichholzschachtel. So Streichholzschachtel consists of 3 different words. Streichen, Streich means rub. Holz is wood. Schachtel is box. Feuer anzuzünden, brauche ich eine Streichholzschachtel. To make a fire, I need a matchbox. Über, over. Ich finde mich übercool. I think I am super cool. Ich springe über den Zaun. I jump over the fence. So über can be used as in over a fence, like über den Zaun, but also I am übercool. Like I'm super cool. Überwachung, monitoring. Die Überwachung. You really have to watch something very closely, or so Überwachung. Gefängnisse benötigen Überwachung. Jails need monitoring. Umweltverschmutzung, pollution, die Umweltverschmutzung. Umwelt means environment and Verschmutzung means dirt or dirtiness. And heutzutage sollte sich jeder Gedanken machen über Umweltverschmutzung. Nowadays, I think it's very important that everybody should think of pollution. You don't pronounce every single letter, so it's Umweltverschmutzung, but that's why it's hard to pronounce. Wettbewerbsfähig, competitive. Fähig is something you add to a lot of things if you are capable of doing it. This one is hard as well because the HI is not very common. Fähig. Der Arbeitsmarkt ist sehr wettbewerbsfähig. The work world is very competitive. Zuhören, listen. Ich hoffe, ihr hört mir zu. I hope you're listening. Now, usually the Ö is pronounced very clearly, like Ö, Öl, oil. But in this case, since the H is before and the R after, it's kind of like zuhören.
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
Magst du deutsches Essen? Do you like German food? Magst du deutsches Essen? Do you like German food? Eines meiner Lieblingsspeisen aus Deutschland sind Knödel. One of my favorite German foods is Knödel. It actually is made of potatoes. It's like a potato powder and you boil it in water. It's very German actually. It's called Knödel. Ich lebe in dem Land, wo die Sprache gesprochen wird. I live in a country that speaks the language. Ich lebe in dem Land, wo die Sprache gesprochen wird. I live in a country that speaks the language. If you come to Germany and want to learn German and study German, I mean, since you are in Germany, it would be, of course, easier to get around, even in the supermarket or just different kind of things like getting on the bus, on the train, and finding your way. It's all in German, so it's a good reason to learn German.
Gibt es einen Bus vom Flughafen in die Stadt? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? Often airports are kind of outside of the city, right? In Germany, or actually in Europe, we have Ryanair. Probably you've heard about it. It's like cheap airline, but we all want to save money, so it's good. But often the airports of this Ryanair are actually not in the city. So if you fly Ryanair to Barcelona, you end up, I don't know, 100 kilometers out of Barcelona, and then you always have to take a bus. This also happens in Germany. For example, the Frankfurt airport of Ryanair is about 100 kilometers out of Frankfurt. So you will have to ask for a bus to the city. How do you do this? Gibt es einen Bus vom Flughafen in die Stadt? Number 4.
Last. Ich war das letzte Mal am Meer vor circa einem Jahr. The last time I was at the ocean was about 1 year ago. Die Person, person, die Personen, people. Die Personen in Deutschland sind sehr freundlich. The people in Germany are friendly. Machen, make. For example, meine Mutter macht heute einen Kuchen. My mother is making a cake. And if you've never tried German cake, it's really good. And then I'm going to put it in the oven. Ding! Now it's done. And then it's going to go whipped cream. Wie geht es Ihnen? How are you? Wie geht es Ihnen? And then, mir geht es gut. How are you? I am good.
Könnten wir das Menü haben, bitte? Could we have the menu, please? Going to a restaurant, you of course want to know what the food offering is before you just order anything. The waiter comes with the menu, and you can open it, search for your entree and for your drink. Beer, I'd recommend, and then, what I'm gonna eat? Schnitzel. Eat schnitzel. Schnitzel is awesome. Good German food. I love it.
Ich möchte mich gerne mit der Familie meines Partners auf ihrer Sprache unterhalten. I want to speak to my partner's family in their language. You might be dating a German but you're from another country, so of course you get interested in the culture and the language. I think that's a normal thing, and in order to speak with their family or spend time on certain holidays, it's important to know their language. And if that's a reason, let me know. I'm curious if you're maybe dating a German and that's why you're actually studying German. Wie lautet deine Telefonnummer? What's your phone number? Wie lautet deine Telefonnummer? What's your phone number? I think it's important if you're in a country that you don't know and you're new, you're trying to connect, and so try to meet as much people as possible, get their phone numbers and meet them again. And so remember this question. Alt, old. Ich mag alte Schätze. I love old treasures. Ich mag alte Omas, die sind sehr süß. I like old grandmas, they're really cute. Die Freizeit, free time or leisure time. In meiner Freizeit unternehme ich gerne etwas draußen. In my free time, I like to be outside. Gucken, look. Gucken means to look, and it's kind of used between friends and more young people, and it's not very formal, it's more casual. Ich gucke mir gerne den Himmel an. I like to look at the sky. Gern geschehen. You're welcome. Ja, danke, dass du mir beim Umzug geholfen hast. Gern geschehen. Thank you for helping me move. You're welcome.
Ich möchte das hier. I'd like this. Coming back if you're at the fair and you really don't know, like there's something you've never seen, but then you want to point at it and say you want this, and you want to impress the one who's selling you, the seller, speaking German, then you can just say, ich möchte dies, and he will be like, cool, here you got it. Number 16.
Lustig, funny. Finde mich immer sehr lustig. Vielleicht andere nicht, aber ich. I think I'm funny, even though maybe other people don't, but I think so. Einer meiner lieblingslustigen Schauspieler ist Ben Stiller. One of the most funniest actors is Ben Stiller. Der Kopf, head. Die Köpfe, heads. Okay, so der rollende Kopf, the rolling head. In German, if you do something bad, it's a way of saying die rollenden Köpfe, or your heads will roll. It's the same saying as in German, die rollenden Köpfe. Die lustigen Köpfe der Klasse, the funny heads in the classroom. There are always some class clowns. In Germany we call them die lustigen Köpfe der Klasse. Erzählen, tell. Immer wenn ich aus dem Urlaub zurückkomme, erzähle ich die aufregendsten Geschichten. When I come back from vacation, I always tell the most amazing stories. Als Kind hat meine Mutter mir Märchen erzählt. As a kid, my mom used to tell me fairy tales. The most famous fairy tales, Märchen, are from the Grimm brothers, and they're actually German. And I really used to love, Rotkäppchen, it's Red Riding Hood.
Entschuldigen Sie, wie hoch ist der Fahrpreis? Excuse me, what's the fare? In buses or trains, if you haven't bought your ticket previously ahead, then you might want to ask the driver, what's the price before we're taking it, to not be surprised later. Yeah, bus tickets in the city usually are like, I'd say, $2.50. Train tickets apparently depend on how far you want to go. I think a train ticket from Berlin to Munich, for example, €50, I guess. Depends also if you book ahead or not. But yeah, if you ask the driver or anybody at the train station, you probably haven't booked ahead. It's always smarter to book ahead, then you can get way cheaper tickets, especially for trains. In buses, usually you're not really able to book a ticket ahead, you just buy it right there. And yeah, the driver in the bus always is happy to help you out when you're uncertain about the price. So just ask him. Number 20, selfie time. Könnten Sie ein Foto von mir machen? Could you take a picture of me, please? Yeah, nowadays this question is not asked so often anymore because you always do your selfies, right? You do that? Like, I could actually film all this in selfie, but I would be too shaky, I guess. But if you want a proper picture, maybe of your group with everybody in it and not just this long selfie arm, then you should ask a stranger on the street. And I told you previously that most Germans are know at least a little English, so they would understand if you have a camera and say, oh, could you take a picture, please? That you all want them to take a picture of you. Good sentence to know if you're traveling alone or with your partner or in a group and you want to have a picture. Then just ask, oh, könnten Sie ein Foto von mir machen? Könnten Sie bitte ein Foto von mir machen? Going back home after your travel, you see clouds are coming back, like I'm not in this bright sun anymore. Yeah, time to go home. Yeah, travel is over, let's go back home and then bus to the airport. Have a good flight.
Einen Moment bitte. One moment, please. You bought something and you want to return it. Entschuldigen Sie, ich würde gerne etwas zurückschicken. Einen Moment bitte. Excuse me, I would like to return something. One moment, please. Ich hätte gerne. I would like. Ich hätte gerne einen Salat mit Pommes. I would like a salad with fries. Wait. I would like a water. Wie viel macht das? How much is it? Ich hätte gerne ein Kleid für eine Hochzeit. Wie viel macht das? I would like a dress for a wedding. How much is it? Zahlen bitte. The check, please. Zahlen bitte. The check, please. When you're ordering something and you're finished and you want to pay, you usually say to the waiter or waitress, zahlen bitte. Hilfe, help. Hilfe! Help! Hilfe, like help, is when you're in need of something or you can't do it by yourself. You scream or you say, Hilfe! Ja, ich bräuchte Hilfe heute Abend. I need help tonight.
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
How do I express feelings in German? Letting people know how you feel is an important part of daily conversation. That's why this lesson focuses on how to express emotions. Do you know how to say, I'm happy, I'm sad, or I'm sick in German? You will find out in this lesson. To express emotions in German, usually the subject is followed by the verb sein, to be, and then the adjective. This verb is commonly used to talk about your own feelings, can be used to talk about others' feelings depending on the context. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to express your feelings in German. Let's start on a positive note. Ich bin glücklich. I am happy. Here we have the word ich meaning I, followed by the conjugated form of the verb sein, to be, and the adjective glücklich, happy. So altogether it means I am happy. Some examples are Du bist fröhlich. You are happy, pleased. Here we have the word du, meaning you, followed by bist, a conjugated form of the verb sein, to be, and the adjective fröhlich, glad. So altogether it means you are glad. Next, ist unglücklich. He is unhappy. Here we have the word meaning he, followed by ist, a conjugated form of the verb sein, to be, and the adjective glücklich, unhappy. So altogether it means he is unhappy. Wir sind traurig. We are sad. Here we have the word wir meaning we, followed by sind, a conjugated form of the verb sein, to be, and the adjective traurig, sad. So altogether it means we are sad. Next, wir sind verwirrt, durcheinander. They are confused. Here we have the word sie meaning they, followed by sind, a conjugated form of the verb sein, to be, and the adjective verwirrt, durcheinander, confused. So altogether it means they are confused. Ihr seid zufrieden. You all are satisfied. Here we have the word ihr meaning you, plural followed by seid, the conjugated form of the verb sein, to be, and the adjective zufrieden, satisfied. So altogether it means you are satisfied. How do I say that something's great in German? There are two main ways to express that something's great in German. These two words are toll and groß. Toll just means great. You can even use it on its own. For example, if you see something really impressive or amazing, you can just say toll, great. Or you can use it as a part of a sentence like das ist so toll, meaning that is so great. The word groß by itself actually means tall or big. However, the word großartig can also mean great. You can even use both toll and groß by saying das ist toll, wirklich großartig, which means that is great, really great, or that is awesome, really awesome, to emphasize how amazing something is. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to use toll and groß correctly. Let's start with the sentence, das hast du toll gemacht, meaning you did a great job. This is something parents might say after watching their child participate in a school musical or play in a sports tournament. However, this is a casual expression and should not be used when speaking formal German. If you want to congratulate your coworker on a job well done, it would be better to use das haben Sie wirklich sehr gut gemacht, which means you really did that very well. Here's an easy one. If you went on a trip or to an event and someone asks you how it was, you can use the expression es war toll, it was great. Let's do one more. The expression na großartig is an ironic expression that literally means well, great. This is used when you make a mistake or knock something over and so on. An interesting tidbit is that the word toll originally meant crazy, but nobody uses it that way anymore. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Does muss in German mean the same thing as must in English? Unfortunately, must and the English must are false friends. That means they sound similar, but they actually mean something a little different. Musst du comes from the verb müssen, which means to have to. In some cases, it can be translated as must. However, the word must has a much stronger connotation in English than it has in German. You can see musst du at the beginning of a standard question. For example, musst du heute arbeiten? Meaning, do you have to work today? You can also see the reverse when making a statement, du musst heute unbedingt einkaufen gehen. you really have to go shopping today. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to use the verb müssen correctly. Let's use the sentence Ich muss los, I have to go, as an example. I must go sounds really strong in English, but in German it can be used just to let someone know when you have to leave. For example, Ich muss heute 17 Uhr los. I have to leave at 5 p.m. today. Or you can use it when you suddenly realize the time and you have to go somewhere else, as in, oh, ich muss los. Oh, I have to go. If you want to say, I have to go in a business situation, it would be better to use the phrase Ich muss dann mal los, which literally translates to I would then have to go. You can use this if you're talking to your boss after work and need to make a quick exit. By trailing off after the word los, you're implying if that's okay with you. This phrase is usually replied to, oh, natürlich, of course. A good point to remember is that while müssen can be loosely translated as must, in some cases, must not does not translate to nicht müssen. Instead, you would use nicht dürfen. What do los and gehen mean, and how do I use them? Los has no literal translation, but means something along the lines of let's go. Gehen means to go. When used together, losgehen means to start going when you're about to leave. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to use los and gehen correctly. Let's start with a phrase that uses both. If you and your friends are getting ready to go somewhere, you can use the phrase los geht's, which literally means off we go. This lets the people you're with know that it's time to get going. Now let's do one using just los. Imagine those same friends are taking a while to get ready, and you're starting to get impatient. Then you can use the phrase los jetzt, which translates to something like come on now. It's usually followed by beeil dich, which means hurry up. What do you think? Do you understand the difference? If you've really got a good handle on it, you can try using this expression. Ich glaub, es geht los. This literally means, I believe it is starting to go. But it's actually used to express shock or disbelief at someone else's bad behavior. How do I use the word leihen in German? Leihen means both to lend and to borrow. So how do you know when which one is being used? The easiest way to tell is using these two different expressions, sich etwas leihen, to borrow something, and jemandem etwas leihen, to lend someone something. Let's take a look at the pronouns. In the first sentence, the subject, I, you, he, her, and so on, will be related to the subject something, and the same corresponding pronouns will be used. So for example, if you want to say, I borrow something, then the sentence would be, ich leihe mir etwas. Here, the word ich means I and corresponds with mir, literally translating to me. This is the same for all pronouns in German, including you or du, dir, and so on. You can check out a full conjugation chart in the lesson notes. If you want to use the expression jemandem etwas leihen, meaning to lend something, then the subject and the object are not related, and you'll be using two different pronouns. For example, ich leihe ihm etwas, meaning I lend him something. In this sentence, the pronouns ich, I, and ihm, him, are different, so the listeners know that the speaker means lend. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to make sentences using borrow and lend correctly. Let's first do an example with borrow. Ich leihe mir einen Film aus der Videothek. This means I borrow a movie from the video store. Here, the corresponding pronouns are ich and mir, and both refer to I. Therefore, we know this sentence is using borrow. Now, let's do one with lend. Leiht ihr ein Buch. He lends her a book. Here, the pronouns are different, so we know this sentence is using lend. Now, let's do a tricky one. Ich leihe dir ein Kleid und du leihst mir einen Rock. I lend you a dress and you lend me a skirt. In this sentence, ich and dir and du and mir are different, non-corresponding pronouns referring to I and you. If you want to change the sentence to borrow, it will sound like this. Du leihst dir ein Kleid von mir und ich leihe mir einen Rock von dir. You borrow a dress from me and I borrow a skirt from you. In this case, du and dir and ich and mir correspond, changing the sentence to borrow while still meaning the same thing. What is Denglisch? Denglisch, also called Anglizismen, are nouns that are derived from Deutsch, German, and English, English. These are nouns that look and sound like English words but aren't used in the same context. Some examples are handy, public viewing, mobbing, showmaster. Let's go over them so you can learn how to use these Denglisch words correctly. Handy doesn't mean something that's useful. Actually, it's a common word that was used for an older phones without screen. Nowadays, mobile phones are called smartphone or iPhone. Places where soccer games are screened publicly are called public viewing. This is when soccer fans go to a designated place to watch the game together. However, many English speakers confuse this with when you view your loved ones for the last time after they've already passed away. If someone is being bullied at work, it's called mobbing. This is not a large mob of people in a crowded area. It's often used to describe the difficult state of work life in Germany and is used when other coworkers are teasing or making fun of you. Showmaster, rather than the host of a show, is actually the person who moderates a show, the person who makes sure everything is running smoothly.
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
Does umfahren have two different meanings? The word umfahren can mean both, knock down and dive around in German. However, people can tell what it means by either the context of the sentence or the placement of stress on the word. The difference is that umfahren, to knock down, is a separable prefix like ich fahre while umfahren, meaning to drive around, is a non-separable prefix like ich umfahre. Let's do some examples so we can learn how to use umfahren correctly. If you pronounce the word as umfahren with an emphasis on that means knock down. For example, ich habe aus Versehen den Baum umgefahren. I accidentally knocked down the tree. Also, with this definition, can be separated from fahren, like in this sentence. Ich fahre den Baum meaning I knocked down the tree with a car. If you pronounce the word as umfahren with an emphasis on fahren, that means drive around. For example, ich umfahre die Insel. Literally, I now drive around the island. With this definition, cannot be separated from fahren. Another similar example is umschreiben. When is emphasized, it means to rewrite something. And when schreiben is emphasized, it means to describe something. But be careful. Ich schreibe den Text when the prefix is separable. It means I rewrite the text. What is the difference between blau machen, to make blue, and blau sein, to be blue? These are two common expressions in German and do not have any connection with the literal meaning of blue at all. Let's take a look at some examples so you can learn how to use these expressions correctly. For example, if you're just not feeling well today and need to take a rest, you can say, ich mache heute blau, meaning I'll skip it. It refers to work, school, or another activity or event. Another way to use this expression is, ich bin blau, I'm drunk. You can use this at a party when you've possibly had one too many, and it may signal to your friends that it's time to go home. So, why do these expressions use the word blue? The original reason is that blue is commonly associated with negative feelings. This means that As an idiom, the word blue often reflects unhappy emotions. Keep in mind that both expressions are colloquial and should not be used in formal situations. What are some of the most common German proverbs? German has some really interesting proverbs. In this lesson, we'll go over some of them. First up is the expression abwarten und Tee trinken. This literally means to wait and drink tea. This is a common phrase used when you want to express your patience about something. For example, if you applied for university and you need to wait for the results, you can use this expression. Next, we have the expression alte Liebe rostet nicht, which means old love doesn't rust. For example, imagine you haven't seen an ex for many years. Then suddenly they come back into your life and the flame rekindles. In that case, one might use this expression. Next up is einen Bären aufbinden, literally meaning to untie a bear. If someone tells you a story and you don't think he or she is telling the truth, you can say he or she's untying a bear, which actually means I don't believe you at all. Another interesting idiom is auf den Schlips treten, which literally means to step on the necktie. If you offend someone, you might say entschuldige, ich wollte dir nicht auf den Schlips treten. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your necktie. Let's go over a few more. Alles in Butter, literally everything is in butter. If someone asks you, are you okay? You can tell this person, ja, alles in Butter. Yes, everything is fine. The next one is auf die Pelle rücken, literally meaning to move to the skin. The imagery is quite self-explanatory. If you imagine someone being too close to you physically, you can comment on his or her behavior by saying, du rückst mir auf die Pelle, literally, you bother me. Last, we have Übung macht den Meister, literally, practice makes the master. Imagine your friend is practicing something really hard, but just isn't quite there yet. You can tell him or her, Übung macht den Meister. Practice makes perfect. What does passt schon mean? Passt schon is a casual expression in German that generally means something is alright or okay. However, it can be used in different ways. Let's do some examples so you can learn how to use passt schon correctly. In some cases, passt schon can mean never mind. For example, ich denke, nee, passt schon. Literally, this means I think so, never mind. But it translates naturally as I forgot what I wanted to say. In other cases, passt schon can mean no problem. For example, if someone accidentally bumps into you and says Entschuldigung, excuse me, you can respond with passt schon, no problem. You can also use passt schon to respond to the question wie geht es dir, meaning how are you? If you're not so bad but not great either, you can say passt schon. In this case, it would roughly translate to I'm alright or I'm fine. Passt schon can even mean keep the change when giving a tip. For example, if your waiter at the restaurant says, das macht 47 Euro. 47 euros, please. You can respond with a passt schon, and it'll mean keep the change. In other parts of Germany, such as Bavaria, some people drop the N at the end of passt schon and emphasize the O as in passt schon. So make sure to listen for it if you visit.
What are your top 10 language learning goals for the year? The year is still new, some months already in, but still enough time to reach all the goals that you have. So, what could those be? We'll see in a second. Let's go. Ich werde die Survival Phrases Series auf germanpod101.com beenden, indem ich mir 2 Lektionen jeden Tag anhöre. I'll finish Survival Phrases Series on germanpod101.com by listening 2 phrases a day. Survival with German language requires some survival lessons, I guess. Go through the survival lessons and take care you follow all the steps that I'm going through with you today. And then we'll make sure that you will be on track with all your goals in learning German. Ich werde ein deutsches Buch zu Ende lesen, indem ich 10 Seiten jeden Tag lese. I'll finish reading one German book by reading 10 pages a day. I know we have some great German philosophers like Goethe and Schiller. Maybe you should not start with this kind of stuff. It's a bit heavy. Even German speakers struggle to understand all that stuff. Take something easy, and then reading is fun. I think reading German is a great way to master the German language. So go ahead, 10 pages a day, make sure. Ich werde meinen Deutschtest bestehen. I'll pass my German test. Yeah, whatever test that is, like there's all this A1, A2, B1, B2, or if it's test stuff, there's the Goethe Institute. All those are great. If you plan on studying in German, then you have to reach a specific level and pass in a test. I think that's usually either the Goethe Institute or the C1, and there's test stuff, DSH. So if you plan on studying in Germany, you should make sure that you pass on one of those tests. They're a bit higher than the B2 level, and yeah, listening to these lessons here is the first way to get there. Ich werde einen deutschen Film komplett verstehen, indem ich ihn jeden Tag gucke. I'll fully understand one German movie by watching it every day. I'm not so sure if that's the best way to do it. Might get quite boring after the third, fourth, or fifth time. But I don't know, if you like binge watching all over the same movie, then it might be a good idea to just switch over to German at one point. So if you already know all the phrases by heart in your mother tongue, that could be a way. I like Bad Boys. That's a good movie. Wouldn't watch it every day though. Okay, I think we'll find better ways to make you learn German without you having to watch the same movie every day all over again. Okay, let's try with the next one. Ich werde vor meinen deutschen Freunden auf Deutsch eine 3 Minuten lange Vorstellungsrede halten. I'll give a 3-minute introductory speech in German to my German friends. First thing to do here is find some German friends. If you live somewhere else, I don't know. But on the other hand, yeah, Germans are everywhere. So just go out, shout some of the stuff that you already learned with me, and then whoever speaks German will be like, oh, I understood that. So you can find some German friends this way. Then give them your 3-minute introductory speech, and then they already know who you are. And so, yeah, maybe they are friends afterwards. Maybe not, but at least you've mastered one of the steps to reach your German goals for the year. Ich werde 5 deutsche Lieder auswendig lernen. I'll memorize 5 German songs. Ooh, that's a hard one. Even I don't memorize 5 German songs. I know maybe 99 Red Balloons. That's a good one, easy to remember. Could start with that. I do know more English songs. They're the better songs. Unless you really like German music, then we have some cool rock bands. There's Die Toten Hosen. Should listen to that stuff. Good stuff. Or Die Ärzte. Same direction. If you manage to memorize 5 German songs, please leave a note and sing them. I want to know. Ich werde 350 Wörter durch Karteikarten auf germanpod101.com zu Ende auswendig lernen. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on germanpod101.com. That's a pretty long one, okay, so one more time, pretty slow. Ich werde 350 Wörter durch Karteikarten auf germanpod101.com, right here, zu Ende auswendig lernen. Yeah, flashcards are a very good way, like the little flashcards. Write down the words. After writing down 350 words, you probably already know most of them, so that's the way to go. The horse agrees. I used to learn with flashcards also, but flashcards definitely is a good way to go for. Ich werde 10 Postkarten auf Deutsch an meine deutschen Freunde schreiben. I write 10 postcards in German to my German friends. Yeah, again, first find some German friends that you can send the postcards to. If you haven't been successful in the mall with shouting around and giving you a 3-minute introductory speech, and you haven't found any German friends yet, just write 10 German postcards to your grandma. Grandmas love postcards. Just, I don't know, add some little pictures of yourself, and they'll be totally fine. I don't know, grandmas are full of surprise. Maybe they even speak German. But yeah, you see, it's worth finding some German friends so that you can give your 3-minute introductory speech. You can send 10 German postcards. German friends are very useful. People say it's hard to find German friends. That's not true. We're everywhere. We're nice people. Ich werde lernen, wie man über vergangene, gegenwärtige und zukünftige Ereignisse spricht. I'll learn how to talk about past, present and future events. I think it's worth also to grab a German grammar book. That way you can also do your 10 pages in German a day and study the German past and present forms. Because yeah, my lessons are very good to learn some new vocab and to get a little bit the feeling of the language and get some cultural insights. But I'm not really going into detail too much with grammar. So in my opinion, to really study grammar, a book is the best way to go because you can really like sit down, think. It's also a bit like you can use your flashcards and write down the different forms of a verb in the past and in the future. Future, it's there. Past, there. Present, right here. Vergangenheit, Zukunft, Gegenwart. That's 3 years ago, so dreamers, I don't know, memorizers, and right here we are. Gegenwart. Ich werde 150 Wörter meistern, indem ich 5 Wörter pro Tag auswendig lerne. I'll master 150 words by learning 5 words a day. That's a good goal. New words, broaden your vocab. 5 new words is good, like it's not too much in the beginning. After a couple of days it gets more, like after 7 for example, after a week you would be with 35 words. 35 words are good, you can make a lot of sentences, maybe not so much sense, but a lot of sentences with 35 words. But yeah, no kidding, I mean, having the goal of every day having 5 new words is pretty good, so you always kind of really broaden your horizon, and of course from time to time you'll forget some, but therefore you have your flashcards to repeat, and yet also it gives you the chance to really get a little step forward day by day. So 5 words every day.
What are the differences between the dialects Sächsisch, Saxon, and Bayerisch, Bavarian? Bayerisch, spoken in the south of Germany, and Sächsisch, spoken in the eastern part of Germany, are 2 dialects that are still widespread. The word dialects in German, Dialekte, can also be referred to as Mundarten, literally meaning mouth style. First, let's go over the differences between the 2 dialects. The most distinctive characteristic of Sächsisch is that the endings are swallowed. It is used as a kind of time saver when speaking. For example, here's the standard German sentence. Ist der Mund einmal offen? Warum hinter dem Berg halten? And here is the Sächsisch dialect. Is de Gutsche immer bret? Dann gönn ma auch gleich mit Ema nauslaufen lassen. Did you notice the difference in ending there? Both sentences literally translate as, once the mouth opens, why keep it behind the mountain? It means that once you start to talk about something, you should just say everything you're thinking. In the Sächsisch dialect, many hard sounds changed to soft sounds. For example, k turns to g, t to d, and p to b. It's considered to be an immature soft dialect, which is why it might sound strange to foreigners. Here are some examples so you can hear the differences between the Sächsisch dialect and Standard German more clearly. First, you'll hear the Standard German, then the dialect, and finally the translation. Morgen, morgen, morning. Tag, Tag, hello. Guten Abend, Abend, good evening. Wie geht's denn so? Wie geht's denn so? How are you? The Bavarian dialect is also pronounced more softly than Standard German. It's considered to be a warm-hearted and sincere dialect. Listen to the differences in sound again. Just like before, you'll hear the Standard German, the dialect, and finally the translation. Grüß Gott, Grüß Gott, Grüß dich, hello, greetings. Grüß Gott, Grüß ich Gott, greetings to God. Wie geht's? Wie geht's da? How are you? Remember, these dialects are only spoken in certain parts of Germany, but in general it's necessary to speak and write Standard German. Also, while it's important to understand the differences between the dialects, be careful not to imitate them because you might send the wrong impression to the listener.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.